At 3 Business, we think you should get more for less. With our boundless business offer, the whole team gets unlimited calls, data, and texts. And the more SIMs you buy, the more you'll save. All on the UK's fastest 5G network. That's what we call big value. Search 3 Business or visit us in store.
Unlimited in the UK, based on Ookla speed test intelligence data H1 2023. C3.co.uk.
Clyde One Super Scoreboard podcast with Lookers Audi. Don't miss their Take Charge event between the 25th and 29th of April. It's game day, and this is the home of Scottish football. It's Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
Good afternoon and welcome to Clyde One Super Scoreboard. It could be a huge day in the title race with a double header in store. Rangers will look to draw level on points with Celtic when they visit St Mirren in the early kick-off. Then it's Celtic's turn to respond to whatever happens in Paisley as they take on Dundee at Dens Park at 3 o'clock. I'm Andrew Maclean. Joining me in the studio today is Gordon Dalziel, Mark Wilson and Hugh Keevins.
Well, the St Mirren manager Stephen Robinson says that he wants a marquee result for St Mirren, and they could really do with one today because they're in that unfortunate position of having 1 point fewer than Hibernian, who are in the bottom 6. But I'll stop talking until you find the mic that works.
Hugh, somebody take Hugh at the toilet. Come on in, Hugh. Listen, it's a big day, Andrew, no doubt about that. When the big two are playing away from home in the first post-split fixture, then maybe there'll be fireworks today. I mean, both are set up to win these games, no doubt about it. Both have the stronger squads. But I say time and time again, when it gets to this stage of the season, even though you have a strong squad, you've got international players, there's sometimes mistakes and bumps along the road. I wonder if we're in for a shock anywhere today.
Lovely day outside, lovely day for good fixtures, and we've certainly got that. You look at the big two. Are the easy fixtures today? Absolutely not. I'll wait to St Mirren, I'll wait to Dundee. I think we'll get plenty of excitement, and predictions will come very, very soon.
Yeah, 2 huge matches in store, starting in Paisley, St Mirren taking on Rangers, and then of course at 3 o'clock Dundee against Celtic at Dens Park. We'll be here until 6 o'clock to bring you all the action, and I believe Hugh Keevins is actually back with us now. No, it's not. What a start. What a start. I'll tell you what, you know what we'll do now? We'll go to Paisley. We'll speak to Gabriel Antoniazzi, who has all the build-up from the SMiSA Stadium.
Good afternoon from Paisley. Hopefully my microphone's working so you can hear all of this. A huge game, a huge day in the title race. Of course, the split begins for the big two. The final 5 games to decide the closest title race we've had in over a decade. Rangers still with the chance of a domestic treble. They know if they win their remaining 6 matches, including the Scottish Cup final, they'll have a big chance of achieving exactly that. But they must overcome St Mirren today and pile the pressure back onto league leaders Celtic, who play in Dundee later this afternoon. Philippe Clement's side had that morale-boosting win at Hampden against Hearts last weekend, just their 3rd victory in their last 9 games. The Belgian makes 2 changes to the team from 7 days ago. Borna Barisic comes back in at left-back, which pushes Dujon Sterling further up the park. Fabio Silva also comes in on the left-hand side of the attack, meaning the 2 wingers from last week, Abdullah Sima and Rabbi Matondo, miss out. But, Andrew, perhaps most importantly, Connor Goldson remains on the bench after he was dropped last weekend. He is still amongst the substitutes today. I'll give you the 11 then. It's Jack Butland in goal, a defence of James Tavernier, Leon Balogun, John Suter and Borna Barisic. Mohamed Diamande and John Lundstrom will be in the middle of the park with Todd Cantwell just in front of them. It will be Dujon Sterling on the right wing, Fabio Silva on the left, and Cyril Dessers, fresh after his brace last weekend, will start up top. The substitutes are McCrory, Goldson, Lawrence, Dowell, Wright, Roof, Davies, Raskin and McCausland. Of course, it's a big day for St Mirren as well. They are searching for European football. They might be winless in their last 4. that they've used this as a reset and hopefully a push for at least a 5th place finish, which will secure them what they want. That's where they currently sit in the table, Andrew. They want to extend the gap between themselves and Dundee, which currently sits at just 2 points. Stephen Robinson makes 4 changes to his team from a few weeks ago. Taylor, Buomono, Bacchus and Olusanya all drop to the bench. In come Bolton, Strain, McMenamin and Mandron. So it looks like it's going to be a 3-4-2-1 formation today for the hosts. Zach Hemming in goal, James Bolton, Alex Gogic and Marcus Fraser as the defence. Ryan Strain and Scott Tans will be wing backs, with Mark O'Hara and Caelan Boyd-Muntz in midfield. And Conor McMenamin and Greg Kiltie will support Mikael Mandron, who leads the line. The substitutes are Minsky, Taylor, Scott, Bacchus, Dunn, Olusanya, Brand, Jameson and Pomono. The referee here will be Nick Walsh and the VAR is Don Robertson.
Yes, some big team news from Paisley. I think the headline must be that Connor Goldson is on the bench for the 2nd game running. Gordon Dale.
Yeah, the manager came out and said last weekend that he was rested. You look at the semi-final, clean sheet, so there's an argument to say go with the same back 4. And that's what Clement certainly. Well, he's not, because Barisic, has come in and Sterling's moved up because of injuries to Sima and Matondo. Look, I wouldn't have been surprised if Goldson come back into the frame, but I think it's the right choice. I think this has got to be a difficult game. I think St Mirren will try and make it physical, and just now Balogun, Suter hold day positions, and Barisic in at left back gives them good options going forward. Great delivery from the flanks with Tavernier down the right hand side. Difficult game this afternoon, but that looks on paper a good Rangers side for me.
Is that maybe a sign that Connor Goldson wasn't rested and it was maybe more to do with his form, or is it that he was happy with the performance of what he saw from Leon Balogun and John Suter, and that he's happy to continue with them? Or it could be a bit of both.
No, without doubt for me, Andrew, it's about his form. I thought it was a nonsense last week when he says that he was being rested. Just front up, he's a manager, he makes the decisions. Just say that he's been out of form and he'd rather go another direction, because if he was then picking a team today that was keeping in line with a clean sheet last week, Daz has just touched on it, he would have Sterling playing at left back, he would have McCausland in a wide area, he had Scott Wright in a wide area. However, he's not. He's decided to put Barisic in at left back, so he's already disrupted that back 4. So if Goldson was rested, and he was, now's the time, just put him back in. He obviously isn't happy with how Goldson's performing, so he's went for Balogun and Suter again. I think it's the right choice. And Sterling, I mean, take a pick which position Sterling plays every week. I mean, he must be delighted, Sterling, to be in the starting 11, no doubt about it. But when you're getting moved from left back to left wing to right wing, today to centre mid sometimes, it must be a tough job for him. But he's performed well in all those positions, and it's another big afternoon for the young man.
Big fuss over nothing. It's not Franco Baresi who's been left out, it's Connor Goldson. And Rangers played perfectly well last weekend in the cup tie against Hearts, so the manager's just gone with continuity. The point I was going to make at the start of the programme, St Mirren's manager Stephen Robinson speaking about looking for a marquee result. He hasn't had one this season, to his way of thinking, and today would represent that marquee result. He's in that embarrassing position now where he's got 1 point fewer than Hibs, and Hibs are in the bottom 6, so you want to do something about that. But Rangers want to plant their flag, so to speak, on the summit of the Premiership table. A 6-0 win would take them there. Only kidding.
Hugh is saying that it's not a big deal, Goldson being left out, but Rangers manager after Rangers manager has played Connor Goldson. He rarely ever gets dropped, rarely ever gets rested. It's now a vital time of the season. Is this quite a big call from Philip Clement at this stage?
No, and the reason I'm saying no is because I think Mark touched on it. He's out of form. Let's not be kidded here. He's not performed to the capabilities that we know Goldson can perform to. Now, I like Goldson. I said yesterday as well, if you go back to when Clement come in the building and Rangers were getting all the plaudits, especially away from home today, difficult fixtures, their defensive record was brilliant, and the 2 centre backs was Goldson and Balogun. But he's dropped off that, there's no doubt about that. He's come under a bit of pressure from the Rangers supporters. I think what's happened is, I don't buy the rest either, I've got to be honest. I don't think anybody does, but that's the way the manager handles it, then fine. I think what he's just done is take him out the firing line just now Obviously 2 centre halves played last week in the semi-final, clean sheet, but I think Connor Golston is still a big part to play because I think he's a decent player.
The Borna Barisic situation is quite interesting because he got taken off, didn't he, against Ross County in that defeat. Since then it's been Dujon Sterling that's started in that position. Ridvan Yilmaz is obviously injured, but is the fact that he's back in today just shows how vital Philip Clement thinks Dujon Sterling is, that he needs him in a forward position.
I think maybe a bit of both. Sterling played in the wide area against St Mirren earlier on in the season. He played off the left, if memory serves me right, and he did well that afternoon. And he's so versatile. He can play there with that power and pace. But I think in terms of balance, and Philip Clement's probably looking at his 2 fullbacks getting forward, and when you get into those final third areas, your final delivery. Now that's one thing Barisic certainly gives you in abundance, is great final delivery. So he's maybe looked at that and thought, I could do with a left sider in there rather than Sterling continually checking on his right foot. So I think that a bit of both with that. But like I said before, he had the option of playing Sterling left back. He didn't want it. He's got Scott right there, he's got McCausland there. He could have played in the wide areas, but he's chosen Sterling. He's put Barisic back in, and he's chosen not to rest Goldson but to leave him out because he's.
I think that's a correct decision for me. Right, I know that Barisic, and we understand that he's leaving in the summer. Get all that. You're talking about a guy that's played over 130-40 games for Rangers, 35-36 caps for Croatia. It's not like you're putting someone in that's it's not been tested in that position. Yes, occasionally he's let himself down, no doubt in that. I think Barisic's been a good servant, and the one thing he'll give you better than Sterling down the left hand side, if he gets into the forward areas, his delivery is brilliant. So I think that's a good decision to do.
At this stage of the season, some teams can have a bit of a lack of motivation. St Mirren last season, I think, were a prime example of that. Stephen Robinson's admitted that maybe subconsciously they were maybe already on the beach because they'd secured their top 6. That's what they were looking for. But it's very different for them this season, isn't it? Because they've got those European ambitions. Stephen Robinson now admitting that yes, they wanted top 6, but the internal goals for them this season were European football. So they've got so much to play for today as well. Yeah,
I looked at the Kilmarnock Hearts game yesterday, for example, and I thought there was a touch of post-split inertia about that game. But as you rightly say, Andrew, St Mirren have something to go for, as do Dundee when they play Celtic later on this afternoon. So Stephen Robinson will be wanting to put on a show in front of the supporters, but he is confronted by Philippe Clement and the Rangers side, who are desperate to win this title.
Well, let's hear from both managers, starting with Stephen Robinson.
Yeah, they lost one game, so I'm not sure how tough a spell that was. I've been in tougher spells myself, I have to say. But look, I'm not under any illusions. Rangers are a very good side, as I've repeated, with a very good manager. They've proved that over the course of the season. Because they lost one game certainly does not make them a bad side. They come with an abundance of talent. They had a very good performance in the semi-final, and I expect them to come all guns blazing, and we have to match that. I have to believe that we will get a result against them, which I firmly believe we can.
All scenarios are possible, and it can make a lot of turns still in these 5 final games. Alex told me once that he became champion last 4 games. He was 5 points behind, for example. So everything is possible. So it's again good for you guys that there are a lot of scenarios possible, a lot of things to write about. And for us, it's about thinking about next game and doing everything possible to win that game and to be focused on that.
Kick-off in 15 minutes time. We'll get more build-up next.
And now a word from our podcast sponsor, Lookers Motor Group. They have Jaguar, Audi, Land Rover and Volvo showrooms across Glasgow and the West, so you can find the new or used approved car that is right for you. And on now through until Monday at Lookers Audi in Glasgow, Hamilton, Ayr, Stirling and Edinburgh, they have a Take Charge event running. That means you can take advantage of enhanced offers and incentives for the new Audi fully electric range. So if you're thinking of going electric, check out lookersaudi.co.uk to find out more, or pop into your local showroom. Now back to the podcast.
How exciting is it to play the British Heart Foundation's weekly flutter? Ka-ching! Exciting enough to get your heart racing. Just a little bit. Like texting a mate. The same time they text you. Like flipping pancakes with majestic grace. Or spotting that last parking space. Yes! With the added joy of knowing the money you donate helps to fund life-saving research. £1 to play, £1,000 to win every week. Search British Heart Foundation Weekly Lottery. See, it's a little bit exciting.
Gamble responsibly. Over 18s only. T's and C's apply. Please see our website for more details. British Heart Foundation is a registered charity.
At 3 Business, we think you should get more for less. With our boundless business offer, the whole team gets unlimited calls, data, and texts. And the more SIMs you buy, the more you'll save. All on the UK's fastest 5G network. That's what we call big value. Search 3 Business or visit us in store.
Unlimited in the UK, based on Ookla speed test intelligence data H1 2023. C3.co.uk.
The team with the biggest support in Glasgow and the West. This is Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
Kick-off fast approaching in Paisley for St Mirren against Rangers. Of course, that is the early game, and later on it is Dundee against Celtic at Dens Park. The headline news from Paisley is that Connor Goldson is on the bench for Rangers once again. Borna Barisic brought back into the starting lineup as well. It means Dujon Sterling will be playing a bit more of an advanced role today as well. But these weekends are just going to get more and more tense as the weeks go on, aren't they, Hugh?
Well, that is the whole crux of the matter now. You need to have a heavyweight mentality. Lightweights don't get this title, and I'm certain that Rangers will have that about them. In Todd Cantwell, they have the match winner. He has now emerged as the brightest spark in the team for Rangers, and certainly after last week's performance against Hearts. So Dessers can rely on good service from Cantwell, and can look forward, I think, to a couple of goals again today. But I mean, Cantwell, who has been speaking a lot this weekend, and he understands that his persona irritates a lot of people, particularly Celtic supporters. But too bad, you know, he can play. He might be irritating at times, but he can play, and he's the main man today for me.
Brendan Rodgers was speaking during the week, Mark, about the mentality that's needed at this point in the season. He said that his side need to get their trophy heads on, and he said he surely will, because they've proven it in the past. Do this Rangers team have a bit to prove in terms of mentality?
Oh, they've got to. I mean, you only have to go back 2 weeks to show their feelings in that department. Hugh says he's certain that Rangers will have it today. I don't think you can be certain, in my opinion, of either of them at the minute. You're looking at a season where Rangers have lost 6 times this season. Celtic have lost 3 times, but drawn 6 of those games. And you look at against the opposition, they've dropped points against. Now they've got 5 games to go, 5 of the hardest games to go, starting today. I mean, you surely can't be certain that they're just going to, both teams are just going to breeze through all these games, and then it's going to come to the head-to-head at Celtic Park. Evidence shows you that both these teams have struggled throughout the season, never mind when pressure's firmly on their shoulders. So I think we're in for a wee, ups and downs as we go, and that's what the title race has been this season. There's been ups and downs, twists and turns when we'll least expect that. Now, might not be today. It's another 4 games to go after this as well, though, that it could come.
Rangers are on a 3-game winless run in the Premiership at the moment. They obviously beat Hearts at Hampden in the semi-final, but they need to get back to winning ways today if they have title ambitions.
If they're going to be serious here in this title race, they've got to win today. There's no doubt in that. I take on board what Mark's saying, but I don't look at it that way. I look at it up until the Celtic game. You've got 2 games. Rangers have got St Mirren away, Kilmarnock at home. Now, if you ask me, are they capable of winning 2 games? 100%. Celtic, Dundee away today, Hearts at home. Are they capable? 100%. So I don't look any further by these 2 games, and I think the Rangers and Celtic will win both of them, and I think then after the Celtic part we'll decide where the title's going. But today it's going to be difficult. I think difficult for both games, right? But I just feel that we're now at a really crucial stage that these teams know can't afford to drop any more points. Now, Rangers drop points against Ross County and Dundee. They're still in this title race. If they drop points today and Celtic win this afternoon, you can kiss it goodbye for me.
How much of a bearing can this game have on the one later? Is it a case of if Rangers win, Celtic will be well aware of the result, it will put a bit more pressure on them? If Rangers stutter and drop more points, will Celtic go into that game in Dens Park with a spring in their step?
Yeah, I say it often that I think the players that say, we concentrate on ourselves, what you take their word for it, but there's no doubt they're aware of what goes on in the other games now. The Celtic players at Dens today won't have access to TV coverage like we do when, you know, it was at a home game at Celtic Park where there was a TV room we could go and watch their kickoff, but they'll certainly know the result. Now if Rangers drop points, of course it's a huge boost for the Celtic players. If they win, well, like, nothing changes. Rangers go level on points with them. Celtic know that they have to win at Dens Park. It just, I suppose, adds a wee bit more pressure. They can't slip up, but both teams, like Daz, know this stage, they know any slip could be absolutely crucial.
It's one of the attractions of the post-split matches, because you cannot even begin to talk about Dundee Celtic until you find out how St Mirren Rangers goes, and the Celtic fans will tell the Celtic players what happened in Paisley, because their reaction will speak volumes. So they won't even have to ask what the result was. The reaction of the Celtic fans will tell them what it was. So that is the attraction. No talk of Dundee Celtic until this one has finished. Of course, if Rangers draw or lose, it is a massive psychological lift for Celtic. If Rangers win and go top alongside Celtic, who will be on top as a result of goal difference, then the pressure's on Celtic. But you cannot speak specifically until this match ends.
Almost ready to get going in the first kick-off of the day. We'll go back to Paisley next.
The winning team all season long. This is Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
A big day of action in the Scottish Premiership about to get underway. The teams are in the tunnel for St Mirren against Rangers. That's the 12:30 kick-off, and then Dundee against Celtic at Dens Park at 3 o'clock. Let's cross back to Paisley to get the rest of the build-up and a recap of the teams with Gabriel.
Rangers desperate for the gap to reduce between the two before the Old Firm in 2 weeks' time. There's been big calls made by Philippe Clement today, with the two teams walking out. It'll be Connor Goldson on the bench, one of the stalwarts on this team, but he's not playing today. Borna Barisic, he's back in at left back. Dujon Sterling starts on the right wing to give them more legs, perhaps some defensive cover. So their team is Butland, Tavernier, Balogun, Suter and Barisic. Diomande and Lundstrom in midfield. Sterling, Cantwell and Silva will be behind Dessers. What about the hosts? They're desperate for 3 points as well in their hunt for European football. They've been brilliant by their standards all season. But Stephen Robinson says he wants that signature result, and what a huge step it would be towards securing 5th place if they do get 3 points today. It's a 3-4-3 formation for the hosts. Hemming in goal, Bolton, Gogic and Fraser in defence. Strain and Tansworth are the wing-backs with O'Hara and Boyd Munson middle of the park. McMenamin and Kilty will support Mikel Mandron up top. As you've been speaking about in the studio, it is now all about dealing with the pressure. 5 games to go, 6 if you include the Scottish Cup final. A domestic treble on the line for Rangers. The question is, how will they deal with it? And today, of course, could be decisive. Both Rangers and Celtic away from home, where they have struggled at times this campaign. Rangers winless in 3 league matches. That is nowhere near title winning form. They've got to reverse that today if they want to be champions come May, Andrew. Fabio Silva just getting the ball now, kicking it towards Cyril Dessers in the centre circle. Rangers in all blue, St Mirren in their usual black and white stripes. A huge afternoon of football, and it starts here in Paisley.
Clyde One Super Scoreboard. Goal flashes with M&D Green Pharmacy. Interested in a career in pharmacy? Apply today to join their team.
Yes, just getting underway in Paisley between St Mirren and Rangers, so that means that we'll get a prediction from you three. We'll do this game first and we'll do the Dundee Celtic game a bit later on. Hugh, first.
St Mirren 0, Rangers 3.
St Mirren 1, Rangers 1.
A draw. I'm going a narrow victory for Rangers. I'll go 2-1.
I go 2 Rangers wins and 1 draw, so we'll see how it pans out. I was just seeing there when the players were shaking hands that Todd Cantwell, he normally has a sort of blue ribbon in his hair, doesn't he? This time he's gone for a sort of full headband this time. It's almost sort of like Karate Kid style.
He's just
a bit of an upgrade.
Permanent poser, but he can play. So, you know, that posers have to play.
Maybe he's just keeping the hair out of his eyes, Hugh. I think maybe sometimes you're a bit hard. I was like that as a youngster. You seen the t-shirt?
You had quite long hair at one point, didn't you?
Yeah,
Did you not
but-
have anything sort of
no,
holding
You
your
used
hair back?
the hairspray, Andrew, so it didn't move an inch in the wind.
Wait, the brow cream. You put that brow cream back, nothing's moving that. Hurricane Hugo ain't even moving that.
Was that what your choice was? It
Brow cream. Oh yeah.
The most self-absorbed man in Super Scoreboard history is telling me that I am harsh on people when they
And we're off and running. It's a great afternoon of football ahead.
Yeah, slightly later kick-off. There was a bit of a hold-up, so the game has maybe kicked off a couple of minutes late. Only 30 seconds into it so far in Paisley. Not much to report at the moment. Rangers full blue kit, blue shorts and socks as well.
They held it up so that Todd Cantwell could get his hairband on.
Yeah. Well,
a mistake early on for James Tavernier, and it's a big save by Jack Butland. Maybe one you'd expect him to make, but a real shaky moment in the opening minute from James Tavernier.
Well, James Tavernier, all this talk of the Saudi Pro League and might this be his last season at Rangers, and that's just shoddy from the captain.
I've got to say, see Van St Mirren, I'm a bit disappointed with that. He doesn't get the ball out his feet quick enough. But it's a good opening. It's an easy save for Butland, you've got to say. But Tavernier, that is not the start you're looking for. Look what happened to my Ibrox. He should have learnt his lesson with Maeda.
Well, how big a concern is that? Because you look to the game against Celtic, conceded within 21 seconds. Then against Ross County, George Harman should have scored within the first minute of the game. Away to Dundee. Dundee had a huge chance in the opening minute of that game as well. That's the fourth league match in a row that Rangers have either conceded or come very close to conceding in the opening minute.
Clement looks at the same games as we do, and he has to be concerned by that. But I think Gordon Dalziel hits the nail on the head. St Mirren didn't capitalise properly on the mistake made by Tavernier, and he ought to have done better. So they owe Butland a favour.
Can chances come too early for strikers? Is that just a bit of a cliche, Gordon?
No, not at all. Because before the game, you'd have hit about 30 shots into the. That's what you do just before you leave the pitch. If you're a striker, you get into the habit of hitting the back of net. Rangers have again
all over the place. This time it's Leon Balogun at fault. St Mirren into the box, and John Suter having to. Well, I think there's a free kick to Rangers. Is it in there?
Yeah, but
he's got away with that again because the offence didn't take place where St Mirren won the ball. It was just when it bounced up and it hits man drawn maybe in the hand going forward.
The two hands, you mean?
Did that happen in the hand? Did it? I thought
he directs his hands towards the ball.
Yeah, I think it did, Mark. But it's a shaky start from Rangers, especially you've got Balogun and it's all down the right hand side, so they just need to sharpen up and learn their lesson. Look, the manager probably have warned them about that. You cannot look at as a coach and decide what Tavernier's got to do in the first 30 seconds of the game. That's individual errors that they've got to cut out.
It will give St Mirren a lot of hope, but Rangers will need to hope that it's not setting the tone for them for what the next 90 minutes is going to look like.
Well, you know that they look slow in thought and deed. So you know, Philippe Clement will need to get word onto the pitch that this is a slovenly start.
You wonder what Connor Goldson is thinking sitting on the bench. I know he's been part of displays where Rangers have looked shaky at the back, but if you've been dropped and in the first few moments you're seeing shaky moments from other defenders.
Yeah, well, it was interesting to read. It was a Tanzer's piece in the paper today saying that they would look to exploit that right hand side of Rangers with Tavernier. You know, quite clearly saying that he's a good player going forward and his numbers are great, but there's opportunities to be had there. I don't think they quite would have thought it would have been the opening 50 seconds right enough, but that's twice. Tavernier and Balogun look slack. Hugh's right,
maybe
ponderous.
They did expect it to be that early though. When you look at the pattern of Rangers' recent games, Mandron was putting pressure on very early.
Yeah, but here's Rangers now. They've got an opportunity with a corner kick just to put this right on top of the St Mirren goalkeeper Hemming.
Yeah, Borna Barisic with one arm up to deliver this corner, and it is punched away by Zach Hemming. The chance isn't gone, and it's Lundstrom. John Lundstrom with an effort from the edge of the box, curling, goes wide of the mark.
Well, it just shows you can have your sloppy start, but you can still take a chance that puts you in the lead. And the St Mirren defence, the goalkeeper did all he could, but close there. Where was the goalkeeper?
Well, I was just about to say that, Hugh. Goalkeeper Hemming does well to get the initial punch. He gets caught in a crowd of bodies, but then his recovery position is awful. absolutely awful. By the way, and I'm then looking at John Lundstrom to think he probably should have done better, because he almost had an open goal there to hit.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for Rangers for a set play, you've got to say. I think that both teams will be disappointed with sort of a half chance that they've had at the beginning of the game, but we're now settling down to a proper game of football. I think St Mirren look like they're going to start to press very high up the pitch and put Rangers under pressure.
Yeah, Jack Butland just having to move the ball quickly onto John Souttar, but once again Rangers passing it around the back, St Mirren not giving them a second to think, and Rangers eventually looking as if they're about to give it away, although Dujon Sterling did well initially. It's now gone out for a throw.
I like that from both teams actually. St Mirren showing they're brave, showing it's their home game. They're going to have a front three right up against that Rangers backline, and then Rangers having the courage to try and force a press onto them and then play through, and they'll almost get it out to Sterling, who's got a 1v1 that just runs out of play. So good from both teams there.
That's what Stephen Robinson will have wanted, though. If he's wanting his team to press very high, just having that moment in the first minute where it's worked and it's provided them with an opportunity, that maybe just gives the players that extra motivation to keep at it and keep on harrying to see if they can
it gives
get
them
more.
belief that there are mistakes in this Rangers backline. You know, if Rangers pop it round them every single time, they get a wee bit disillusioned, they start falling back into their usual pattern. But when they see mistakes, they think, yeah, this is the way to go about this. But we say this about Rangers and Celtic all the time. They have the players on their day that can pop it around you, and within 4 passes are up the other end creating a chance. So there's a way of doing it. They just need to be careful. It's a lively old start.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. And as Rangers come forward with Silva, here's Lundstrom must take this on.
Yeah, takes a touch Lundstrom and then drags that one way wide of the mark.
I agreed with you in the first instance, but I didn't see Sterling. Sterling is in yards of space out right, and he maybe just has to drive and commit. Oh, could he just slip Sterling in there a straight ball?
I'd be disappointed if my midfielder's not. You're saying that because of he makes a mess of it. He drags it, you know, by the post. Doesn't even test the goalkeeper. But it's good play from Rangers. They caught St Mirren in possession, counter-attacked on them, tried to punish them. But I think we're off to a lively start. I really do. I think both teams now starting to get at it.
Chance for St
Another
Mirren.
mistake
Yeah,
again
it's
from
popped through
Rangers
again, and there is a big opportunity for St Mirren on the
what a
angle,
save.
and Jack Butland gets
I thought
down
that
to
was
his
him.
left to deny them. The
Oh, it's
flag has
offside.
gone up this time. Play will continue though, because Rangers are on the break, but that goal wouldn't have counted, or certainly it would have gone to a review.
Well,
anyway,
Butland certainly doesn't know he's offside, and Mandron just goes a bit wide, and it's low to Butland's left. It's a fantastic save. He would have been offside anyway because the flag did go up.
Tavernier again. Tavernier doesn't get his feet adjusted. He's claiming he was desperate for offside. But you're right, that is a good save down to his left hand side. He just gets that away, gets it away enough as well. He doesn't know that flags went up. He's got to produce that, and then Rangers got the park and try to score a goal. So I think we'll get an exciting game so
If
far.
anything goes wrong here for Rangers today, first call, 5
Oh
o'clock.
yeah,
Tavernier can't defend.
Yeah, I can already hear the phone calls going.
the camera actually zoomed in on Jack Butland after he made that save, and there was a sort of look of bemusement really at what he's seeing in front of him so far.
I think he's trying to think, if I get defenders in front of me, it's going to give me a wee bit of protection. It's only 8 minutes into the game. But all credit to St Mirren. They're really, they're working very hard. They're trying to close Rangers down. They're not letting Rangers into any rhythm at all with the passing. So yeah, they've obviously done their homework.
Butland's just been outstanding though for Rangers this year. You go through everybody else in the Rangers team, and they've all had their moments that you could say they've been off the boil. Even Tavernier, who scored plenty of goals, you could pick holes on. Butland's probably the only one you couldn't do that with. He's been outstanding.
A little bit of naughtiness from a ball boy there who watches Balogun coming towards him to get the ball and then throws it away. Clubs have got to say to the ball boys, you just concentrate on what you're out there to do and don't get wrapped up in the game.
Yeah, quite often referees actually tend to get involved sometimes.
Yeah.
I saw that at, was it Dens Park? I think there was actually an issue with the multi-ball system. They just didn't have balls placed around the ground at Dens Park, so it was taking forever to get a ball back in play, and the referee actually having to go over to whoever the head of ball boys is to tell him to distribute some balls around the ground.
That's why I said yesterday you've got to pay the ball boys, and if they don't do their job, take their wages off and fine them. That's the only way forward in the game.
I don't think they've got national
John Lundstrom
insurance
on that
numbers still, have they? 10-year-old.
I'll give them a tenner a game.
Cash in hand.
In hand. And if you don't produce,
HMRC will be after them as soon as they turn 18.
Don't produce, you're out.
John Lundstrom just with a searching ball over the top for Todd Cantwell there, just bounced through to Zach Hemming in the St Mirren goal.
Cantwell started okay actually. The lovely take in the half turn to open things up just moments before that, and he was good last week. Really was. He made Rangers tick last week, and they need a performance like that again from him, because this isn't going to be easy. You can quite clearly see in this opening 10 minutes how frantic it is and how brave St Mirren have been. So Rangers need their creative players when they get a bit of space just to, find that killing pass.
St Mirren into the Rangers box again. They'll get a corner this
Good
time.
defending from Lundstrom.
Well, they have to capitalise on this early pressure that they are enjoying, because a goal of a start for St Mirren really does crank up the pressure on Rangers. They've had their chances. Butland has done well, but you've got Rangers at the moment backtracking. You have to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they've certainly had the better of the possession as well, Hugh. You've got to say. So while you're on top like this and at home, I think you've got to try and at least capitalise on it.
Is that the ball boy been finned? I think he's just been sent off.
Told you. I like that. Well done, St Mirren.
Just a shot of him being led around the pitch there. I think he's maybe been given his marching orders already.
No, but the only thing I will say,
in front of Rangers fans as well. He's been led round.
The only thing I'll say, he's got a ball under his arm. I think he's maybe trying to sneak out with one. Good on him.
The young are ill-mannered, and you have to have
that's not a sweeping generalisation, that is.
Well, grandfather of 6. Young people are ill-mannered, so he has to be reminded that he is representing St Mirren Football Club, and he's been captured live on television making a fool of himself.
Poor lad.
Yeah.
Poor lad. I'm all about second chances, Hugh. Give him another chance. If he does it again, then give him a third chance.
Young guy's made a mistake, that's all.
Sterling getting the wrong side there. It was a deep cross from a free kick in towards O'Hara and Mandron. Sterling, I think he's thankful that ball's just a bit too long. Was it offside anyway? He's the wrong side of Mandron. So it's just
I always think it's impossible to tell from the naked eye as well. Was it one during the Chelsea Aston Villa game yesterday, and to the naked eye you thought, he's clearly offside, and then they drew the lines and it was actually by a distance onside as well.
Yeah, VAR's ruining the game.
I've given up trying to work out whether things are on or offside when they're marginal.
England, Scotland or the continent, VAR is ruining the game.
Was it Sweden? Did I read Sweden have rejected it?
They don't have VAR.
Or the top clubs?
There was a vote though, and the clubs have gone against it. I think fans had sort of voiced their opinion that they didn't want to bring it to Sweden, and
well done the Swedes.
So how can they play in UEFA competitions?
They can still play in UEFA competition. It's just that the referees can't then be selected because they're not sort of VAR ready. Although we have VAR and we don't have any referees going to Germany this summer. No Scottish officials have been selected.
No, and the Swedes do.
So we only selecting it to keep our refs happy and...
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the only reason, but that is one of the reasons that the referees, they want to referee at the highest level.
Oh, here's a chance for Rangers.
There's a chance here. James Tavernier with the ball across. Unable to be bundled in. And it was a good sliding challenge by one of the St Mirren defenders to deny Cyril Dessers a goal scoring opportunity.
Great play from Rangers down the right hand side. Is it Balogun that stayed up there? And Tavernier gets into a terrific position, puts a good ball across. You got to ask the centre forward to get across and really put that in the back of the net. So good play from Rangers.
Fantastic move from Rangers. Quick, slick, one touch pass in there that leads into the wide area. I think Tavernier does do well with his ball across. Probably agree with Daz there. Maybe you're looking for your centre forward to get across. Was it Marcus Fraser that was the last ditch tackle there right in front of his goalkeeper? It was the best opening Rangers have had.
They're going after more openings. They've weathered the storm in the first 15 minutes, and now they look the part again.
Yeah, and there's just a real overhit cross from James Tavernier there that will go out for.
He's having a shocker.
I don't know what he's seen there. He's in great position. He's got plenty of time. He can get his head up. Here's a chance here. I've got to say, I think Dessers has got to get in front of the defender there. He's got to get in. If you're a striker, get in front of that defender. You've got to tap in.
It was Bolton with
a
the
mix of
last
James
touch
Bolton,
here, yeah.
and then Zach Hemming got a touch on it as well.
Yeah, but you can see when Rangers play quick, 1 and 2 touch, they have the players that can just cut you open. And that time Sterling does well just to allow Tavernier to get round him, then play him in. That was a good opening.
I've got to say, if I was St Mirren, I'd be looking to get down, as Tanzer said in his interview, down this side, because Sterling likes to play in a little bit. I've just watched him. He's getting in the pitch and he's leaving a lot of space, and all of a sudden Tavernier's got a real problem.
Yes, St Mirren, I think Stephen Robinson will be delighted with the start that his team's made. You can set your team up and you can give them all the instructions, but when Rangers and Celtic come round, individuals on the park sometimes just take a step back and think, oh, I'm not too sure about pressing high, and I'm not too sure about carrying the ball forward. But his team in this 15 minutes have been more than a match for Rangers.
Yeah, long range effort there. Maybe took a bit of a nick on the way through. Conor McMenamin's strike, it's into the arms of Jack Butland.
Worth a go, but I don't think I think it need to be a wee bit more exceptional to beat a quality goalkeeper like Butland. I did it take a little nick off Suter, but to be fair, yeah, it did.
It's chance for Rangers here. Fabio Silva's in, and that's a really good sliding challenge from Alex Gogic, who then screams at the official. He felt that Fabio Silva was offside, got his shot away, and it will be a corner to Rangers.
Well, he's not offside.
He looks
It's
onside,
a great run. He's good touch. He just he's too slow for me. He's allowing the defenders to get back. You know what I mean? One touch too many. Yeah, I'm sorry. He's allowed Gogic, but take nothing away from him. Terrific defending.
Oh, he's the star man for St Mirren. He's been sensational this season, Gogic.
He went through a bad spell. I had a word with him at the school gates last week.
He's your big pal.
Yeah, I just had a chat with him before the kids come out, and he's obviously taken on board. Good tackle.
John Lundstrom with a long range strike that's had to be beaten away by Zach Hemming.
Good save, because that strike on the volley there, it's a great strike actually, because it's a hard one to take, comes through a lot of bodies, and maybe Hemming sees it late and he just pushes it away.
Good pressure from Rangers now. This is a good game. Corner kick, but we're off to a good start this Sunday.
You sometimes get the 12:30 Sunday kickoffs that are a bit sleepy, but this one has buzzed along since the first whistle.
Yeah, Zach Hemming maybe did see that one a bit later, just with the bodies in front of him. Is that comfortable enough?
I'm not buying that.
No,
stick your bonnet on that and just pick that up and start an attack.
Could have held it.
This is a problem. They get coloured jerseys now, they look good, and they're doing all that.
Coloured jerseys.
Honestly, you're there to
what's that got to do with anything?
You're there to save the ball. Just save the ball. You know what I mean? You don't need to throw yourself about. Jeez,
this seems like some pent up anger you've had against goalkeepers for a long time.
I don't like goalkeepers. I think goalkeepers are ridiculous.
By the way, is it just me, or does his strip actually clash a bit with the Rangers strip when it comes to corners?
That's a good point,
very close when you see Rangers players grouped around him.
Yeah, I would
get away with that.
I would sack goalkeepers and just play MD.
Remember they talking about goalie strips there? I think remember Campos in America, the Mexican. Was it Mexican goalkeeper?
Yeah.
Everybody, all the kids had that colourful goalkeeping top. He stood out. He didn't clash with anyone, him. I think he took free kicks, penalties, one of those goalkeepers.
Was there not an old tale that he used to claimed that he used to design his own kits? Was that
I think so.
a thing?
I think that's
I don't know whether that was true or...
Well, the Dazzler's right. Goalkeepers.
Do my head in.
Designing their own kits. Just play football and put your pen and paper away.
And then Buffon, he brought out the short sleeved goalkeeping top.
Yeah, but he was a goalkeeper. He was allowed to do what he wanted. What I'm hoping for is none of the 4 goalkeepers this afternoon get cramp. I would hate to see that again. I'd be really worried about the cramp situation.
Yeah, he's got to have taken some stick for that.
I think especially in the lead up to Ryan Duncan's penalty, and he's making his own player wait. Would you not just try and get out the way quickly?
But how unfit do you need to be as a goalkeeper to take cramp? I mean, when you look at their stats, their running stats, they run about 3 kilometres. Not even that a game. He's taking cramp.
Yeah, Rangers piling on a bit of pressure now, getting in and around the St Mirren
missed
box. James Tavernier will hit one from distance,
good
and that one
save.
is a really good save from Zach Hemming up to his right to tip that one away.
I take your point about his jersey clashing with the Rangers jersey, but they can address that at half time. But that was a really good save.
Yeah,
he's starting to get a bit of joy down this right hand side. Tavernier's getting all the space he wants.
Well, you see the movement. He just tries to reverse it, Tavernier, into that far corner. He doesn't quite get enough direction on it to take it away from Hemming, but still a good stop.
He's being characteristic Tavernier. His defending is poor, and he's a major threat when it comes to scoring at the other end.
I think he'll be disappointed with that, Hugh. I don't think that was a particularly great save. I think it was. I would expect that goalkeeper to save that. Dessers, he's taken up an injury because he must have seen that the ball was coming into his area, because he's not been involved at all.
He scored the winner here the last time.
Oh, listen, I'm waiting. Dessers, I can't make my mind up. One week I love him, next week I think, oh my goodness.
Yeah, James Tavernier's corner this time headed back into a dangerous area by Leon Balogun. St Mirren clear it.
Balogun can't do much more there. It's so deep the corner. He does everything right, heads it down back into the 6-yard box, and maybe if Dessers was on the pitch, that's exactly where you'd want him to be, just to turn it in. Rangers having no bodies in that 6-yard box here.
Yeah, not sure if Cyril Dessers is back in the park yet. I think he maybe is over on the far side now as Rangers continue to try and work this into the box with Dujon Sterling.
I think Rangers are just working their way into this game. They're starting to dominate most of the possession now. The game's getting played in the St Mirren half, where early on St Mirren had most of the possession, 40 odds I think it was, in Rangers half. So I think it's a good response from Rangers. They've settled into it now. St Mirren not pressing as high up as they were at the beginning. Rangers starting to find those spaces, those gaps. St Mirren just need to be careful here.
Is that when St Mirren will maybe start to rue those early missed chances from Mikael Mandron? If you take advantage of those early on, you feel a lot more settled when Rangers start to settle themselves into the game.
You would have to say, if Rangers went in front, the likelihood of St Mirren winning the match would be minimal, to say the least.
I think it's a movement, isn't it, from Rangers midfield? It's causing St Mirren players problems. Cantwell, just moving into little spaces at St Mirren. The four in that midfield, not comfortable following them, and that might be the key, just to unlocking that back three of St Mirren. Just him falling into a number 10 role and then picking a pass. That time his pass was poor right through to Hemming.
Yeah, Mikael Mandron's been a good signing for St Mirren as well. I think 7 league goals. He didn't really come with much fanfare, did he? Didn't set the header alight at Motherwell the previous season, but he scored some crucial goals for them. Yeah,
but you were quite right, Andrew, in what you said about regretting those early chances as Tavernier gives the ball away again. You've really got to get the first goal. If you're looking for that marquee result, then I think St Mirren really do have to score first.
See, that's where I think Balogun comes into his own in that side. Tavernier gets caught up the pitch, the ball gets played into the right hand side. St Mirren look to counter attack. Balogun with his pace comes over and covers. That's what he's there for. That's what he's there to cover the space. And I think that's why Golson was coming in for a lot of criticism. He wasn't covering that space. Tavernier and Golson weren't working as a good partnership, but Balogun certainly read the danger there.
Well, that's just a huge waste from James Tavernier there. A throw in into St Mirren's box. Pretty aimless. Was he going towards Todd Cantwell, but he just bounces all the way through into the arms of
I'm not
Hemming.
sure who has to do better there, Tavernier either with a throw or Cantwell, to make something of it. Maybe a combination of both. Cantwell certainly makes the run. The throw's too long. Still think Todd Cantwell can maybe just show a bit of life and try to get on the end of that.
Quite a record just flashed up there.
You don't want to see that, do you?
Not one in 19 league matches against Rangers. Stephen Robinson for St Mirren.
It's not a good start at all.
You don't want to see that. That'll certainly not be in the CV.
Stats, yes, it's a poor stat, but teams do go years without beating Celtic and Rangers. It's just the disparity within our major league.
Rangers got a chance here.
James Tavernier has space to drive forward, and it's a touch by Cyril Dessers. Does that go out for a St Mirren goal kick? I think it's a corner.
Corner,
I thought Tavernier maybe picked the wrong option there, right enough. I thought he could have
kept on
perhaps
driving,
kept going and just allow Sterling to peel wide. These options would have been better. Nevertheless, they've got a corner kick here that will go on top of Hemming again.
Yeah, they haven't caused too much chaos from previous corners. There was the one that came out for John Lundstrom's volley, but apart from that, not too much has happened.
I wonder if the hand will go up again. I like when there it is. Yeah.
Does he always put his hand up for every corner?
Everybody does it.
I mean, it's signals, isn't it, of sort of what area they're going to deliver the ball into and whatever else. I think I saw earlier on St Mirren player that was taking theirs actually held the ball up with both hands above his head. Whatever that signal is for them.
That means I'm not going to deliver a decent ball and the Rangers player will head it out. Just the same as one hand means I'm not going to deliver a good ball.
Not going to be the first man.
The St Mirren defender will head it out. It signals for both.
Yeah.
But we're more than a quarter of the way through the game now. It's been entertaining, but it has lacked quality in front of goal.
Yeah, we need a wee goalmouth action, something to excite us here. I think it's been decent enough. I think both teams have tried to play when it's on to play. I think Rangers now are starting to be the better of the two teams. But you're right, Hugh, I'd like a wee
referee Cantwell's down to the referee.
Collision off the ball between Nick Walsh and Todd Cantwell.
I wonder if he knows it's the referee or he thinks it's a St Mirren player that's done him.
The referee's spray has gone onto the ground as well. Todd Cantwell coming off worse between the two of them.
Cantwell wants a ref booked.
Cantwell runs
into the referee, and he's blaming the ref.
One, isn't it?
Oh, you can't.
Nick Walsh's back is facing Todd Cantwell. He can't see him. Todd Cantwell is looking at where Nick Walsh is.
That is unbelievable from Cantwell. Now, I just spoke about Cantwell saying that he could be the one with a vision to play a pass that could, and he's ran right into the back of Walsh and
I think that's what Alex Gogic is telling him.
What is Cantwell actually complaining about? Because it was his fault. He sees the referee and he runs right into him. So I'm sorry, I don't know what he's complaining about.
And here's the thing: is that enough for Cantwell to go down and roll about the ground?
Yeah.
Come on.
Did you ever see the one in France a few years ago where the player sort of clipped the heels of the referee? He was trying to do that thing where essentially you sort of try and jump over their heels to get the other side of them. Clip the referee's heels, the referee goes down, the referee kicks the player and then sends him off.
Here
the referee ended up
Cantwell.
getting suspended for 6 months, I think it was.
Wow.
But Rangers into the box. Fabio Silva goes down. Nick Walsh adamant no penalty.
Silva's
there's a surprise.
I mean, Fabio Silva, we chatted about him last week, but he checks inside. Gogic is actually laughing in his face. Checks inside. He just, one of those ones, he runs full into the chest and goes down really easily again.
They are in danger, Fabio Silva and Cantwell, of making themselves an absolute laughing stock within the game, because the what happened to Silva at Hampden last Sunday was laughable, and now you get Cantwell running into the referee, rolling around the ground as if he'd been scythed down by Alex Gogic, and it's just laughable behaviour.
It's just ingrained into some players, isn't it, that they will go down at signs of contact. They will look for things more than
I
other
understand
players
that, and particularly players on the continent. Let's be honest about that. It's the way that they've brought up. But I still think as a manager, I know Silva's on loan, but I still think as a manager you've got a responsibility to, set out your stall, how you want your players to act. I don't think anyone likes seeing that, and it's chance for St Mirren. What a chance.
Headed over the bar.
Mandrum back to McManaman, and he's disappointed.
Steve McManaman.
McManaman. But I tell you what, he just pulls off and he gets a nice header there. I tell you what, he has to try and keep that down. Difficult chance.
Or if he leaves it.
Yeah.
So whoever's coming in there, is it Kilty coming in? Steaming in right behind him. He's got a tap-in with a header.
St Mirren are racking up the missed opportunities, absolutely racking them up in the first half hour of the game, and at some point they'll pay for it.
Well, I think Rangers need to look at themselves here though first. The chances are given away. I mean, Philip, come on. I think we all recognise you'd want a quick start. We chatted about it last week, how Rangers were conceding chances early, and this has been exactly the same for 30 minutes. Now they look livelier going forward. I think Rangers do look dangerous going forward, but you can't be easy to play against. And at this minute they're giving up too many chances as a team if you're wanting to win the title.
So the first goal here's got to be so important, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? See if St Mirren get it, they will fight for their lives to keep a hold out and put Rangers under a little bit of pressure. So it's important. If Rangers have got any idea of staying in this title race today, especially Celtic up at Dundee, they have got to go and get a result here.
Is that the difference in St Mirren this season, that they were solid defensively last year, they had a good shape about them, they were organised, but this season they do play a bit more football, they've got more of a threat in the final third, and they show that belief as well that they can trouble teams.
I like the formation. They play 3-4-3, is pretty positive, but it can turn really defensive as well. You know, that I could just fall into a 5-4-1, of course, but they've got players that can fit the system and they play it well. Stephen Robinson puts out his plan, everybody knows their job, and they carry a threat going forward. So they've done well this season with that formation. It's never really swayed much from it, and it's working to a certain extent today for half an hour. But Rangers, again, they just find wee holes in the middle of the park. When you've got O'Hara and Boyd Munce in there, sometimes they're getting a wee bit overrun, especially when Tavernier comes in like he is now and Cantwell, and they create wee overloads.
Yeah, they did well just to work the ball
handball.
out to Barisic there, and
Handball.
there is certainly a claim from a couple of Rangers players for a handball in there. Fabio Silva's shot was eventually deflected over for a corner.
Yeah, I don't think Silver's claiming for it, but Desser certainly is. Yeah, it's one St Mirren defender onto the other.
I don't think he's got to give that, is he?
In the VAR age, you never know.
I know that, Hugh. We would need to get another look at it. I've just looked at the tactics that St Mirren are deploying here. The minute that Rangers get the ball in the middle of the park, Gogic, who's playing as a centre back in the three, is getting into the middle of the park and trying to pick up Cantwell, stop Cantwell. If you just look, so they've obviously worked in their tactics here, but no penalty kick, play on. Good decision, referee. Well done, officials.
Barisic's ball in.
He's got that all
not dealt with
goal.
well, and it's ended up in the back of the net.
Goal flashes with M&D Green Pharmacy.
I think James Bolton was the last player to touch the ball. It's crossed the line. It came from a deep Borna Barisic cross. Not quite sure what Zach Hemming was doing, because was it going out of play or was there a Rangers player going to get it? But certainly he tipped it towards a Rangers player. It was knocked back into the box, and James Bolton could only turn it into his own net.
Our goalkeeper, I mean, he's had a colourful afternoon already, but does not deal with it well.
Oh, without doubt. I don't know what Hemming's thinking. The cross is far too long and deep from Barisic. It's gone out to play. There's not a Rangers player round the back until Hemming almost keeps it in to palm it down to who was at the back post? Diamandi at the back post. He heads it across. Look, Dessers, I think, is going to put it in anyway. It comes off Bolton because it's right in the goal line. But the goalkeeper's had a shocker there. By the way, Diamandi does so well to keep that in. But I don't know what Hemming's saying. Just let it go. It goes out for a goal kick.
I told you about the goalkeeper early on. I'm not picking on him, but it's how you start football games. See, if you start slack, you cannot flick a switch and all of a sudden say, right, I'm going to be on my game here. Some of you saves, people are going, great. Go and just deal with it. Be the goalkeeper. That's what you're there for. That was terrible goalkeeping, but well done to Rangers. You know, Dessers was sharp, put Bolton under pressure. It's a good header back in. It's caused problems, and they've got the important first goal.
Diamandi chases the proverbial lost cause there and keeps the ball alive, and by so doing he panics Bolton, and that's the first of three for Rangers.
Is that the difference? Rangers make a mistake early on, St Mirren don't capitalise on it. St Mirren make a mistake there and Rangers do.
Yeah, and who makes a mistake? When the goalkeepers make a mistake like that, you know, often ends one way, and it does. You've got to give credit to Diamandi. Hugh's right, he does chase a lost cause, because that just looks like it's drifting out. But again, you've got to wonder what Hemming's thinking.
It's almost hit perfectly onto Diamandi's head as well.
If Hemming just doesn't do anything, if he stays in his line, that ball just drifts aimlessly out the pitch, and it's a goal kick.
A couple of times I've looked at the goalkeeper and I think his position has been terrible.
You're on him today.
Yeah,
you are on Hemming today.
I'm not a goalkeeping coach.
You're giving him stick for saves he made.
But I'm not giving stick for saves he's made. It's a way you make the saves. It's simple for me. But I think and you look at the one with Lundstrom, his position for that was terrible. You look at the ball that's come in here the now, he's got to do better. He's got to be on his toes. He's got to anticipate that ball coming in. Poor goalkeeping for me, sorry.
Yeah, well, Rangers 1-0 up with 10 minutes to go until the break. You wonder, will that give them a bit of a spring in their step? And what's been a pretty even game so far in terms of chances. St Mirren starting well, getting a couple of early chances. Rangers have settled into it now.
But this is why Stephen Robinson goes into the game. I mean, previously had 19 attempts to beat Rangers and failed to do so even once. You're ultimately let down by players who are on the same level as the Rangers players, and the goalkeeper, having made mistakes early on in the game, is now having that mistake prey on his mind because he's gifted Rangers a start.
The only thing I would say, they're not a great deal in it, right? It's not like Rangers are battering St Mirren's door down and you're thinking, oh, this has got to be a long afternoon for St Mirren. I think when you analyse it, the decision making has cost St Mirren for me. But all credit to Rangers. I think they grew into the game. They gave away that early chance with Tavernier being slack. They've grown into the game. They're a lot better. They're dominating the middle of the park. And the goal, the first goal, has always got to be so important. But here's a chance. I would have been concerned if I was Clement about the space down this left hand side, because Sterling is just playing anywhere he wants. He's now way in the pitch and he's leaving Tavernier exposed for me.
Yeah, St Mirren with an opportunity to try and get the ball into the box from the right side this time. Cross is blocked.
Well, they just delayed it too much there.
By the way, what about the pass earlier on in the build-up?
From Gogic, half volley. Yeah. Chance
off the post and it's in.
Goal flashes with M&D Green Pharmacy.
Well, he had two chances earlier on, couldn't take them, but Mikael Mandron heads in off the post, and just like that, St Mirren are level.
Well, there's the Cardinal sin. Rangers get the lead and ought to capitalise on that, and Philippe Clement's face tells the story. Shabby defending, good header, and would you believe it, 1-1.
Well, it just came out of nothing there. We thought they delayed the chance. It's a high looping ball into the back post. Mandron's pulled on to Balogun. He's onside. Balogun gets all wrong. He's just out muscled. He's the wrong side of him. Mandron just leans into him. By the way, it's a good header. It's downwards and Jack Butland scrambling across, can't get it in off the post.
It's not a good header. It's a terrific header, right, to beat Butland. He's absolutely no chance. But see if you strip that back from a Rangers point of view, that is schoolboy amateur for me, for Rangers. Balogun, everybody talks how important he is at centre back. Absolute disgraceful defending from him. But take that away, that is a terrific header. He's a lot to do to beat a keeper of the quality of Butland. Butland gets there full stretch, absolutely no chance, and Rangers get punished again.
Balogun's so weak there, and that's what surprises me. You look at the stature of Balogun, the size of him, but Mandron's always the wrong side of him. And Mandron, good centre forward play, by the way, because he realises he is the wrong side of Balogun. The only way Balogun can get back is by using his body, and Mandron doesn't allow him.
Balogun takes a step.
He initially steps up, doesn't he?
Yeah,
and Mandron just manages to get into that space. Strong, holds him off.
Unless you're 100% as a defender, you can't do that. You've got to deal with the danger. And he gives Mandron all the chance in the world just to say, right, I'll keep you there. You've walked into the wrong position. Now, can I head the ball powerful enough to beat Jack Butland? The answer's yes, and St Mirren right back in the game.
Yeah, completely changes the complexion of it, because Rangers were looking better, they were looking a bit more comfortable on the ball, they were moving it a bit more freely, but now pegged back by St Mirren.
Yeah, well, look, they probably deserve something out of it as well. I mean, because they've actually played well in this first 38 minutes. St Mirren, they've created a good few opportunities, and I thought they'd wasted that opportunity because they had a wee bit of an overload on the right hand side, but they were patient, and you've got to give credit. How many times do we see teams just desperate to throw the ball into the box because it's so difficult to work your way up the pitch against Rangers?
How's that 3-0 looking here?
Poor.
See it 1-0, he's gone, oh yeah, just need another 2. That's I love a Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Oh well, you can relax. Your mic didn't work at the beginning.
I know.
You're out the predictions after 39 minutes.
Listen, I was out the predictions after 21 seconds at Ibrox in the Celtic game, so I've done a marathon
So if
today.
anything, you're getting better. There we go.
Yeah,
I'm half
We're on
an
the
hour
right
better.
trajectory.
I'm nearly 40 minutes better than I was at Ibrox.
but I've got to say, yeah, I think Mark's right. I think St Mirren, I'm not going to begrudge them getting back into the game. They've worked very hard. They've looked decent. Of course they have. But I think if you're a Rangers manager, you're looking at that defensive four, and we keep talking about it. Golson's been off form. Golson's this, Tavernier's this. I'm sorry, you've got to point the finger. If you're being honest, to Balogun today, his defending is absolutely woeful.
Yeah, it's going to give Philip Clement a bit of a headache going forward, isn't it? Because Connor Goldson, he's pretty much deemed, out of form, not playing in this game, didn't play the last game. You've got an error there from Leon Balogun. John Suter looked quite shaky, I thought, at Hampden against Hearts last weekend as well.
I think you have an indication now of which area of the pitch Clement will be addressing when the season ends and the transfer window opens, because we all agreed it was right to leave Goldson out because he had lost form, and now you're looking at Balogun having had a reasonable day against Hearts in the Cup last weekend, now having a very poor day so far against St Mirren.
I was surprised. I read Kenny Miller today, and Kenny was saying that area of the pitch is the least of Philippe Clement's worries. And then you think, you look back over the season, the goals conceded, the calamitous nature of some of them. Is it the least of his worries? I don't think it is.
No, I think it's the first area of the pitch he has to look at in the summer.
Because he was saying that, he was really happy with the options he's got in there, with Ben Davies coming back from injury as well. Was saying that he's happy with the 4 options he's got at centre back. But I think there are plenty of supporters out there that might disagree with him.
I think if he's happy with Ben Davies, then he's got an issue, because he's certainly one that's not done it since he's been here. Balogun, I think Balogun has got a future, even though he's one of the older ones there. I think he's still got enough to offer, but you've got to evolve the team, and that area of the pitch needs to move forward, I think.
Yeah, it's incredible too, because the difference, and I keep harping on about it, when he came in, everybody spoke about his defensive record. His defensive record was brilliant in the first few months. Now it's, I think both teams, right, and I know Celtic's later on, but I think both the big teams, see if I'm playing against them, I would be confident scoring goals. I think there's options there. If you put the right balls in, you'll get goals against them. And it showed today. It wasn't even a great ball. It was a big high looping ball that defenders should be dealing with 10 out of 10. But Balogun takes a wrong step and gets muscled out it. And all credit to the goal scorer. Brilliant, great header. Because he's still a lot to do to beat Balogun.
You know what, you're totally right, Mandron. Good centre forward playing. Balogun is culpable, but I need to see it again. The whole Rangers backline looked disjointed, because Tavernier didn't even look like he was on the outside of Balogun.
He was in front. He jumped in front of Balogun.
And then I'm thinking, how did he work the crossing situation? Because it seemed easy. It seemed just an easy setback and just a loopy ball into the box. Didn't seem to be any real need for imagination from St Mirren. So a lot of things going wrong within that, culminating in Balogun being the main culprit, of course.
Dujon Sterling
got away with one there,
bundling his way past a couple of St Mirren bodies and eventually getting a ball into the box that's easily held by Zach Hemming.
That's poor. That's poor from Sterling. I like Sterling. He plays any position he's asked. He goes out there. He's a decent player, but when you get into those positions, he's got Tavernier at his right. If he's got a problem, just let Tavernier whip the ball in. But that's too easy for me.
Was that just the sort of lazy option after the ball popped up?
Yeah, it looked lazy as well. I've got to be.
You still have one of the crosses.
Did you?
Just look this in. hope there's somebody like Mandron in the middle just to head it. Yeah, big loopy, lack of imagination cross there.
So Mirren's priority here, get in 1-1, because that's a decent return.
Well, they've got an attacking free kick now that they could cause Rangers problems from.
Yeah, but
that's just crazy from Barisic.
Barging
he is
his man in the
never
back.
getting at Kilty. It's almost going into Kilty's chest, so he knows he's never getting there, and he barges into him. Now, allows St Mirren the opportunity just in this last minute just to put this back line of Rangers under a wee bit of pressure.
Well, you've got to think, having watched Balogun at the equalising goal, just throw it in.
You did see just there was a zoom in man drawn, just there's a big chance, and what a save that is from Jack Butland, forced into it this time. James Bolton cannot believe it. I think Jack Butland was almost already diving to his left, managed to stick out a right hand and just paw it over the bar.
Are they not offside?
Well, they did look like offside, but again, Butland doesn't know that. St Mirren do well to keep it alive. What a save. Butland's going the wrong way, throws up his left hand and tips over.
His right hand,
sorry.
Yeah. I've got to say, Rangers defensively are all over the place here. They really are. They're all over the place.
Still got some defending to do as well, because St Mirren have a corner.
Well, what a chance St Mirren have.
Yeah, you think the likes of Bolton and Mandron will fancy their chances. Goes to the back post and
really struggling with the physicality
there. Jack
Rangers
Butland couldn't get a hold of it.
I mean, it's still alive, this attack. It could come to something here.
Put it in.
Good spell for St Mirren
in the box.
Yeah, they do.
Corner, I get it
towards the Rangers goal, but it is Jack Butland collects and then sends it long.
Well, a real opportunity, a real scare there for Rangers. Struggling to deal with Mandron, Nahara at the back post in the first phase of that. But again, then when it's headed back across, I mean, Bolton should score. There's no doubt about it. But who's following him? Who's there to pick up that second ball from a Rangers point of view? Nobody. What a save.
You're talking about the game just now. Rangers defensively are getting out muscled, and when the ball goes up front, Dessers is getting out muscled. He's got to be stronger, both sides. Centre forward's got to be stronger. Get in front, hold the ball up, and let your midfield support you.
By the way, how often is this happening at the moment?
What's going on?
In Scottish football? Is that the balls aren't pumped up properly? This has happened in at least 3 games now I can remember recently.
Dundee
the balls
won
aren't
the other
pumped
night
up
there
properly. Yeah,
last week.
So the Puma balls.
Ross County as well. It was the same, wasn't it? They ended up changing the ball a few times.
I liked when the balls were softer. I could hit them further.
Get the mitre dealt us back. These other mates.
I used to play with the leather with the lace in it. See if you headed that. Oh my!
You didn't play with the lace in the ball, did you?
I used to practice with it, yeah. And see if it was wet, you had to just pick up and throw it. You couldn't kick it.
How bad an era you've played in.
A bad an era. Have a look at the standard of these players here. We never got a game in my day.
Half time in Paisley. Let's get the story with Gabriel.
Half time, St Mirren 1, Rangers 1. James Bolton's own goal gave the visitors the lead, but Mikhail Mandron's header levelled the game just 5 minutes later. It's been a great game here, Andrew. The host.
I'll tell you what, we'll go back to Gabriel because that is not sounding too good there. But the players just making their way off the park at the moment. And you think Philip Clement will be disappointed with what he's seen overall, Hugh?
Defensively, he must be shocked by what he's looking at, because no one in that back four has covered themselves in glory. It's as well that the goalkeeper is having the type of day which will make him a contender for player of the season. Rangers defensively all over the shop. Dessers, as Gordon Dalziel pointed out, is a waste of space at the moment, and Rangers, having been given a fortuitous lead, have thrown it away.
St Mirren now in the ascendancy as well.
Yeah, without doubt. And you've got to give credit to St Mirren. How they set up Stephen Robinson, set up his side. He was brave. He's went with 3 up top who have pressed Rangers, hurried, harassed them, and created chances as well. And let's be honest, this isn't form from a team that you would expect chasing the title. Rangers for 45 minutes have been matched by St Mirren. That's the honest truth of it. St Mirren have had every bit as much territory and chances as Rangers have had at the other end, and really St Mirren handed the goal to Rangers. So a lot for Philip Clement to think about. I wonder if he'll change things, because it's been below par from a Rangers point of view.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Rangers manager is ripping into his players just now. They've got to realise this is a title race, and I'll give all the credit in the world to St Mirren, but St Mirren aren't asked to work for their goals. There's a punt into the box. They're defending. Rangers defending was shocking. They're getting bullied at the back from set plays, and Dessers up front. And I keep saying it, one week I love him, next week I'm thinking, what do you give to the team? He's getting out muscled every time the ball goes up the park. The centre forward dictates where you play. If you get the ball up to centre forward and he holds the ball in, it allows you to go up the park, allows your midfield players to go and support, and now you can play in the final third. The ball's just coming straight back. Clement will be going off his head. Robinson will be happy, but see a slight bit of him, he'll be a bit disappointed. They've had the better chances.
1-1 at half time between St Mirren and Rangers. We'll try and go back to Paisley to get the half time story from Gabriel next.
The fastest goals, the experts' opinions. This is Clyde One Super Scoreboard.
Yes, 1-1 at half time between St Mirren and Rangers. We can go back to Paisley to get the half time story from Gabriel.
Half time, St Mirren 1, Rangers 1. James Bolton's own goal gave the visitors the lead, but Mikael Mantron's header levelled the game just 5 minutes later, and it's been a great game here, Andrew. The hosts started the better of the two. Within 1 minute, James Tavernier's poor touch nearly let Mantron in. He forced Jack Butland into a save. Rangers were sloppy defensively early on. Stephen Robinson's side, high press, doing really well. A few more mistakes for Rangers, but they eventually got their foot on the ball, got it down in the middle of the park and started to control the match and started to create chances. Fabio Silva was the first to benefit from that. He looked like he was in on goal, took his time, but a brilliant sliding challenge from Alex Gogic prevented what looked like a goal. John Lundstrom's had 3 efforts in the first half there, the best a left-footed volley, good diving save from Zach Hemming. But Rangers' pressure told in the 32nd minute. Hemming caught under the ball from a corner. He seemed to flap at it and keep it in for no reason. And Mohamed Diamande was there at the back post to put the ball back across, and James Bolton couldn't seem to do anything but turn it into his own net. However, the lead didn't last for long. It was positive again going forwards from the Saints. Captain Mark O'Hara looped a ball into the back post, and Mantron simply out-muscled Leon Balogun, got on the wrong side of him, headed the ball down in off the post. It was the only way he could have scored, really. Cracking goal, and it was 1-1. And just in the last minute there, what a save from Butland. It was James Bolton of all people with a volley. Looked like it was going in. Butland was going down, but got a strong hand up and showing exactly why he is the best keeper in this league. Andrew, the game is hanging in the balance here. Both teams look shaky at the back, so we could be in for plenty of more goalmouth action. A point would go a long way for St Mirren in their hunt for European football, but for Rangers, wow, what a big 45 minutes this could be. Their title challenge depends on this. They've got to win today and pile the pressure on Celtic. They cannot let the 3-point gap between the two extend any further. Huge second half coming up at the interval. It's 1-1 here.
Yes, it is a huge second half that is coming up soon. Do you think there are going to be any changes from either manager?
Well, St Mirren, definitely not. I think Stephen Robinson will be delighted with his team in the first 45 plus. Clement, I think, will probably look for a reaction. You're looking at the bench, maybe Roof up top later on, whatever it may be, right on the wide areas. I don't think he will. I think he'll address one or two of the situations in that dressing room behind closed door. He'll be asking for a reaction. If he doesn't get it, then the substitutes will probably come on.
I think he has to look at this right hand side going forward. I think he's got Scott right there, a natural winger. He's got McCausland there, a natural winger, and he's playing Sterling there. Now Sterling's done a good job for Rangers over the piece, but we've seen just in the closing stages of that half, just that lazy cross, that final delivery isn't what you'd expect. Now if you really want to go and win this game, I think you've got to be forward thinking, and if that means maybe taking Barisic off and putting Sterling back, I'm not saying Sterling to be withdrawn, but that area, you need more forward thinking players to go and win this game for you.
If people were questioning, the mentality of the Rangers team leading into this game, those questions will just be heightened now after what's happened in that first half.
Well, as I said, you can't have a lightweight mentality for a heavyweight contest. And the sight of Fabio Silva diving about the place, Cantwell rolling about the place, there's got to be stronger mentality. And Dessers, he's got to show some kind of physicality. So it's been poor first half for Rangers. St Mirren, I agree with the Dazzler, they'll be regretful because they had plenty of chances. The more you see of the Butland save from James Bolton at the very end of the first half, the better it gets, because he's going against the weight of his own body, and he still manages to claw the ball away. So now is the time when Philippe Clement must get a reaction from these players. The first half performance was bad. They cannot afford a draw in Paisley, because if that doesn't galvanise Celtic at Dundee, nothing will.
I agree with you. I think you've still got to look at, I know football's changed, but for me it's quite simple when you're playing teams like St Mirren. You've got to win the battle first and foremost, and then the ability that you've got, and you've got more ability than St Mirren players, of course you have, that comes out and that shines and that goes for you. St Mirren have outfought Rangers in nearly every department today, I've got to say, especially that, well, obviously in the first half. I would be looking for a response there. I know what Mark's saying, I totally agree. Although I'm honest, I don't think Barisic has done a lot wrong, but I think if you're going to be positive and you're going to win this game down that right hand side, and I said it from 5-10 minutes into the game, it would be a bit of concern for me. I certainly, with Mark, I would change that somewhere.
I think in that area of the pitch is where Rangers have got most of their kind of success. You know, we've very rarely seen Barisic or Silva in the final third to go at the St Mirren backline to create. But on the right hand side, we've seen Tavernier and we've seen Sterling keeping his width. Now, if you've got an out and out winger and you just leave them 1v1 against Fraser or Atanza, then I think you're in for a better opportunity of creating something. And that's been the problem for Rangers, creating things in the final third. It's been scrappy. They've had plenty of possession and they were finding wee holes with Cantwell and that, but then creating chances for Dessers has been the problem. Yes, Dessers can do more to help himself and be involved in the game, but he's had very little service as well when they managed to work the ball past that St Mirren midfield. So again, it'll be interesting if Clement makes changes personally, tactically, or does he just go with the same and just give them a real rocket at half time to get a bit more life?
How much tougher is the half-time analysis and the half-time tweaks for Philippe Clement when the issues are at both ends of the park?
Yeah, well, this is when Philippe Clement earned his money. You know, they're in a situation here, Rangers, which they were in against Ross County. You know, and then they went from bad to worse in Dingwall. They cannot afford to go from bad to worse in Paisley. So there has to be a response, an immediate response, because as things stand at the moment, this is below par, unacceptable.
I think it's an easy team talk for Clement. It's quite simple. You be honest, you get in there and say, look, do we want an opportunity to win this league? If we do, we've got to be better. If we don't, playing like that, we have no chance. And everybody, whether die-hard Rangers supporter, will know that. Rangers will not win the league playing like that, right? Absolutely not a chance. Do you look at the recent form? I think they picked up 5 points out of 15. You cannot afford now to go there and drop points. I would be looking at people and saying, look, this is a tested character. It's not ability. I think all those players have got good ability. It's a test of character, and that's what will be questioned right now for the next 45 plus minutes.
Yeah, just seen the Rangers team emerging from the tunnel at the moment. I'm not sure I saw any changes in there. It looked as if it was the same 11 that's coming back out onto the pitch. It should be the same for St Mirren as well. We talked about Rangers giving up early chances, which they did in this game, they have in previous games, but it's also happened after the restart as well. You look at the Ross County game, conceded twice just after half time in that game. They're going to have to be on it right from the word go in this second half as well.
That's just all about concentration, and Daz is spot on about the ability the players are better. It's all about mental challenges. This is a big mental challenge for these players laid in front of them. 45 minutes, it's going to be huge in the title race, this one.
Clyde One Super Scoreboard Goal Flashes with M&D Green Pharmacy. From apprenticeships to pharmacy managers, start your career with them today.
Yes, just about to get underway for the second half in Paisley. It could be a huge day for the title race. The camera just panning on to Connor Goldson, who takes his place in the dugout once again for the second game running.
There's only one reason why they go close up on Connor Goldson, because they're saying, wonder what he thinks of that first half performance.
Yeah, I don't like.
What would you think if you seen a striker miss a guilty chance and you were in the bench?
I loved it.
You'd be giving
yeah, absolutely loved it.
Dancer.
Yeah, I must admit, when I played and I get dropped, I wanted the team to lose. There's no point.
I love that honesty.
No point.
And that is honesty. You're not even joking.
No point denying that, because I knew I'd win next week. But it's all about a title now for Rangers, and as I say, it's always got to be difficult. St Mirren have been excellent. I like the way St Mirren have been about their business, but it's up to Rangers. Keep going to it. Character, they need that.
A big chance early on for St Mirren. Looked as if it may be, but Jack Butland was quick off his line to gather a ball over the top that looked as if it was going to cause a couple of issues.
But again, it's the formation that St Mirren have adopted here. You know, they've got guys in the wide area who can take the ball, but they've got willing runners from the opposite side. That time it was McMenamin running in and almost getting on the end of Kilty's pass. It's been really positive from St Mirren. Even when they went behind, they didn't, revert back to, we'll just sit back and that was our only chance. They actually took the game to Rangers. Stephen Robinson will be delighted, because we forget he's playing for a European place here. It's not all about Rangers.
You'd have Silva off now, would you not?
I think a minute and
1 minute and 15 seconds into the second half.
I like the way you go about your business, Hugh. You don't mess about. I quite like that. I think you'd have been a top manager. I've got to say, I wasn't too impressed with the way Suter was trying to block that ball going through as well. I just think Rangers look like they've got mistakes in them at the back. I know he's changed it with Golson out of form. I keep going back to it. You've got to. The two centre backs are a partnership. And if you look at stats, as everybody now talks about it, the best partnership for Rangers was Golson and Balogun.
Well, it's certainly given Philippe Clement food for thought, as they say. He needs to get out of the woods. He's in the woods in Paisley. He needs to get out of the woods, but he's stuck with the back four that he chose. It's up to him. He can't afford to be egocentric and say, I'm not going to change it. How will that make me look? He's got to have
he's done it before, though, hasn't he? He's changed it in the first half of games. He's not shy about doing that. But is this more of a case of just telling the players there to go out, do something different, show a bit more fight, show a bit more quality and passion, and if not, in the next 5-10 minutes there could well be a change?
Well, defend your box like your life depends on it, really. And that's not the way Rangers have defended in the first 45 minutes. And then the opposite end, show a bit of imagination, creativity, show a bit of desire to run off the ball for the guy who's on the ball, because that's all been missing in the first period. But they've got 45 minutes. St Mirren was it the same at Celtic Park a couple of weeks ago, where they did well to hang in there, and then Celtic just bulldozered them away in the second half. It could well go like that, but it needs a better reaction from these players that are on the pitch just now.
Yeah, not too much action in the first 3 minutes or so of the second half.
The scarves are selling nowadays at grounds with the messages on them.
Something we definitely can't read out on air.
No.
Taken off swiftly.
Who's printing that? Who's taking that to the factory and saying this is the message we want on our scarves?
There's Dessers again. You know what I mean? See, to be fair, I've got to say, Gogic, and I'm not just saying this because I do see him, he's been absolutely brilliant. He's stepping into great positions. He's stopping those balls going into the strikers. When Cantwell's getting it, he's stepping in, putting a bit of pressure on him. He's been absolutely terrific so far.
Yeah, you're right. But Rangers players look intimidated from him. There was a few times in the first half where there was 50-50s here to be won, and you see the Rangers players just backing off. Another opportunity here though for Dessers. Gogic answers it again, right tight to him. But much better from the Rangers front man, keeping that alive.
Is there an issue as well that as Diomande takes a shot that's initially deflected and then blocked away by St Mirren, that if Cyril Dessers isn't doing the job, Rangers don't really have him? Kamar Roof's on the bench but hasn't been fit all season. When he's had his chance away to Dundee, didn't really take it either. That there's maybe not that option on the bench that they'd want to have as an alternative.
It seems to go week to week with Rangers. You look at Dessers last week, 2 goals, brilliant, well done. I was delighted for a lad. And then you look at him and you think, right, okay, get Roof on. Roof's a better finisher, Roof's a better player. Roof comes on, he's not been fit, he's not sharp, he's not doing his cell anything good. And then you're back to Dessers again. your fingers are crossed here. Me personally, just now, I wouldn't take Dessers off, right? I'd be looking for a reaction. I think he's the kind of guy that might get through this game and then just get the goal that could take a wee bit pressure off you.
Is this also an issue here as Rangers try to break forward, but Dessers can't find the pass? That the more belief St Mirren get, they might start to pile a few bodies forward, and then Rangers can hit them on the break. We saw that there, but they just didn't have the quality. Cyril Dessers
It was Gogic who tries to play the pass forward but then follow it, and the pass isn't complete, so he loses it and Rangers break. But Dessers' pass is hopeless in the end. I think Dessers has got to take that on, Mark. I think he tries to get rid of the ball too quickly.
Yeah, well, Rangers trying to get towards the St Mirren box. Fabio Silva just
jointed Rangers.
That was almost kind of just prodding the ball away from having to beat a man. Or
as a terrific centre forward, I'm going to tell you now. See that ball from Silva in there? Your centre forward should be in there looking for it. That's a good ball. Dessers is standing flat-footed away from.
It's a good ball if no one is there, though.
But he should be over linking up. Dessers should be over. You don't need to listen. I played with some great players that didn't even look. They played balls into positions and they expected you to be there. That was your job, and that was one of them. So I'm not going to give him a hard time for it.
St Mirren with a throw on this near side.
This near side assistant's having a shocker. A couple of decisions there in the last minute, one for each side.
The standard of the officiating in this country is dire.
Rangers now trying to create something, eventually getting the ball away from a few St Mirren bodies. James Tavernier.
Look how narrow Sterling is there. No width. Tavernier breaking out with the ball. There's no width. You see Clement telling Sterling now, get wide. He's so far in the pitch that there's no way Tavernier can find him, and it's easy for St Mirren then just to close ranks.
But the thing is, Mark, Sterling doesn't want to be on that touchline. That's not his natural game to be on that.
That's why I'm saying that's a manager's call.
As a winger, I agree with you. I don't think. Listen, I don't even know if I would take Barisic off and put Sterling in there, because Barisic has done nothing wrong in this game for me. He's gave away one silly free kick, fine. But he's been up and down the pitch. He put the ball in the back post for the goal. So I definitely think you're right on the right hand side, a bit of width for Rangers.
Fabio Silva giving away a free kick there. It was a long ball played forward to him. I think it was just a bit of a shove in the back. Was it on Ryan Strain? Didn't look a whole lot in it, was there?
Two hands are on his back, but Strain doesn't really go down or anything like that or complain. But I don't think Silva even needs to do that. I think that diagonal ball Strain's under enough pressure anyway, so you either head it out to play or you get something. It's just, again, lazy for Silva. I'll just push him and hope nobody sees it. It's been a poor 53 minutes for him in a Rangers jersey.
I think Clement has got to now look at changes. I know Hugh we were having a laugh and a joke, but I hate this wait to 60 minutes on the clock. I think you've got to be looking to go, right, I need to be active here. I'm a manager, I've got to be active. I've got to get players onto pitches, maybe change the system a little bit, because they need a goal. They can't afford to drop points here.
Well, he's the man with form for doing that, because he took Cantwell off in a European tie in the first half. So, as I say, he's looking at the same stuff we're looking at, and he must realise that Rangers at the moment are going nowhere.
The only problem I think he's got, Hugh, is if you look at that bench, there's not many game changers on there. His Sima's not there. Matondo's been known to come on and give you that spark. He's not there. You're probably the two you're looking at is Ruth. Three, Ruth McCausland.
You've got Lawrence on there as well. Lawrence,
yeah, well, that's in the middle of the park. Yeah,
he likes Dowell. Dowell's came from nowhere again.
I don't think Dowell's got to come on a day like this and win you a football game.
In terms of game changer, that is his squad. I mean, I know he's missing Sima.
He brought on Dowell away to Dundee, didn't he? When they needed something, didn't eventually get it, but proof there that he has turned to him at some point.
Yeah, but I think you'll have learnt his lesson. I don't think Dowell's got to come on be a game changer for you. I really don't. Matondo was good at it, but unfortunately he's not there. Gives you that bit of pace, gives you there he goes.
Here is a change. It will be Fabio Silva.
Someone you didn't mention.
I did. I
you mentioned everybody.
I'd changed McCausland.
Ross McCausland is going to come on for Fabio Silva.
I told you 9 minutes ago.
Big Clement and I are on the same wavelength. We know our football. It's time to make the change. Forget that 60-minute nonsense. Get someone on the pitch that's got to give a bit of width and The only thing I'll say about this lad, right, I think this lad, when he come on the scene, was excellent. I would like to see him take players on a wee bit more. He seems to, every time he gets the ball, he cuts back and he plays that simple pass. Yes, that's fine at times, but go and be creative. You've got the ability in your locker. Go and cause problems.
Michael O'Neill, the Northern Ireland manager, in attendance as well, has already capped McCausland a couple of times.
He's been busy because he was at Rugby Park yesterday as well, so obviously doing the rounds.
It's not a hard job, is it?
I'd love that job.
Really?
I'd love that job.
One game one day, go to another.
I would love to be an international football manager.
Yeah, it's a good gig, yeah.
Brilliant.
You don't even take training because you get good coaches in who'll take the training. All you do is do the tactics.
Would you be praying for some of your players to move to quite exotic places so you've just got an excuse to go to some nice grounds? And
I would just go and golf.
Go to the Middle East guys as well.
Go and golf and then watch a game on record it.
Oh, how bad is that from Rangers? From a simple throw in from Tavernier. How easy it was for St Mirren to get that just down by the corner flag. I mean, you talk about things that you learn early in your career and throw-ins, matching your runner, they'll cross over, follow them. Tavernier just stands and allows Mandron to go the other side of him, and he's lucky St Mirren didn't have a wee bit more quality there to work that
chance here.
He's been great. Gogic
once again
today,
mopping up, just holding off Cyril Dessers and playing the ball back to Zach Hemming. He'll be happy with his day's work so far, Alex Gogic.
He's been very, very good indeed. As I say, a couple of weeks ago he had a couple of ropey games, gave away some cheap passes that led to goals against St Mirren, but overall today you can tell he's been up for a battle. The one thing, and Mark's right, you can see Rangers players looking and being a little bit timid, which I can't understand. You've got to stand up to it.
Here's my biggest criticism, sorry Andre, of Rangers just now. Take the strips or change the strips. You cannot tell which team is going for the title and sitting in second place and which team.
Was a ball through to Cyril Dessers here at a really wide angle.
Now that proves my point. That is desperation. You would expect a player, a centre forward in a team at the lower half of the league to do that against a Celtic or a Rangers. We've got into the final third.
Do you think he's squaring that or shooting?
He's shooting. He's trying to shoot there.
The thing is, he's never going to score from there.
No,
never.
He's got to take that ball. Do you know what? I'm honestly, I think Gogic is bullying him into this game. I think he's really dominating him. I think he's got to be more strong. Dessers, I think. See, if I was playing with him, I'd be giving him what for. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't the bravest. I used to leave that to the guys that didn't have the natural ability. But you've got to stand up.
You had the natural ability and the pace, and the looks and the hair,
yeah.
And the patter.
Maybe I was getting out that night. I've got to look after myself, Mark.
Well, again, we've seen Rangers' frailties in defence. I mean, that's a ball up. Barisic is challenging, but it bounces over him. Again, he just misjudges it, and it's led to a free kick being given away that St Mirren will fancy once again, putting on top of this backline. Kilty's going to outswing this.
Yeah, you'd think the last thing Rangers would want to do at the moment is give away
good defending.
cheap free kicks in areas like that.
It was good defending, you're right. It's a good line, and he's always backpedaling there. Just gets the header away because Mandron's coming round the back of him again. But Rangers are giving away too many set pieces, inviting St Mirren to put the ball into their box too often, and they're fragile at the best of time at the back.
We don't know what's going to happen in this game. Rangers may go on to win it, they may not, but even if they do go on to win it, how big a concern will this performance be for Philip Clement and Rangers supporters that at this point in the season they're not providing the goods again for what's the fourth league game running it would be without a win?
If Rangers win the match, the supporters will accept what went on and just hope it's better the next time, and they'll hope that Celtic drop something at Dundee.
Would there not still be those concerns there though, the level of performance when you've got Celtic still to come, you've got the rest of the top six still to come?
Understand, but there's nothing you can do about it. There's no transfer market. You have to hope that you can, even if you totter over the line, stagger over the line, it won't matter to anybody if you win the title. So you have to just deal with this.
I'm saying the worry is going into these games that Rangers won't win the title playing like this. So it's the immediate concern for the next game, and then the one after that.
Well,
yeah, but the next game's at Ibrox against Kilmarnock to the build up. So I think you've got to take each game in merit here. Look, I totally understand what you're saying, Andrew. If they go and play next 5 games at this level, they ain't winning a lot of them. It's proved already, because you're 5 points out of 15 so far. Their record in the league now is dipping all the time. So you ain't going to win the league like that. So they need to just roll their sleeves up now and think, right, we'll concentrate in this game. We have to get 3 points. But if I'm honest, if I see the next goal coming just now, just in the balance of play, I'd probably say St Mirren have got a better chance than Rangers.
If Rangers win the game with a ball that comes off Desser's backside and goes in, and Celtic drop anything in Dundee, it will be a day of glorious success for Rangers and their supporters. The entertainment aspect, the tactical aspect, nothing matters as long as you win, and that's the same for Celtic at Dundee. Absolutely nothing matters. There is no point in dwelling on they were good, bad or indifferent. Nothing at all matters apart from the result.
Just over an hour gone in Paisley. There is of course another game today, Celtic taking on Dundee at Dens Park. I think we can go to Dens Park with Fraser Wishart to get the teams.
Why don't we just bring the headline story? James Forrest starts for Celtic. Let's do it journalistically.
That's it. Ruin it for Fraser. Hugh,
he's waiting in his big moment there.
I think he's just stolen your shine there, Fraser Wishart. But I'll let you give us the teams.
Yeah, shall I just go home? You don't need me. Hugh Keevins is there to do everything. He can give you the whole team. But as Hugh is saying that no surprise, the only change to the Celtic team is James Forrest is in. Brendan Rodgers talking about him in glowing terms during the week, so no surprise that he starts the game. And it's Yang that drops to the bench. Dundee have made 3 changes as well. They brought in Boateng, Dodgson and Mulligan as well, so a few changes around the Dundee side as well. They've actually changed formation to 4-4-2. John McCracken in goals, John McGee, Antonio Portales, Ricky Lamy and Owen Dodgson at the back. Across the midfield, Scott Tiffany, Josh Mulligan, Mohamed Sila and Malaki Boateng, with Luke McCowan just off the main striker. Amadou Bakayoko, their substitutes, Harry Sharp, Ryan Astley, Curtis Main, Zach Robinson, Finlay Robertson, Michael Mellon, Aaron Donnelly, Ryan Howley and Dara Costello. For Celtic, as I say, just that one change. Usual 4-3-3 formation. Joe Hart's in goals, Alistair Johnson, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Liam Scales and Greg Taylor at the back, Matt O'Reilly, Callum McGregor and Rio Hatate in midfield, Nicholas Kuhn, Kyogo Furuhashi and James Forrest up front, and Scott Bain, Lewis Palmer, Adam Ida, Mike Navroki, Tomoko Iwata, Paulo Bernardo, Daniel Kelly, Anthony Ralston and Yang Hyun Yoon are the substitutes, and the referee is John Beaton, and VAR today is Andrew Dallas, the specialist.
Yes, no surprise there for you then, Hugh. James Forrest in from the start.
Well, as I say, in journalistic terms, that's the headline. St Mirren, we got a chance here.
Yeah, Rangers don't clear very well, and that one's blasted over the bar. I think they're claiming it took a deflection. Mark O'Hara adamant, but it will just be a goal kick.
I nearly hit his girlfriend in this car
park. My case all week has been that I don't think that Yang is going to win you a league title. I don't think he's up to it. And when Forrest came on last weekend at Hampden, he made an immediate impression, scored a goal. He's got 22 trophies for Celtic. He is a battle-scarred veteran of title run-ins and all the rest of it. So he had to take the place of Yang. And I think Brendan Rodgers has simply done the logical thing.
The thing I can't understand about this argument is, right, you just touched on there, you get 20-odd medals, Hugh, for what he's achieved in Scottish football. The reason he's got that is because of his ability, right? He's 31?
32, I think.
32. He's not any slower. He's still got the same ability. He's got more experience. He had a terrific weekend. The manager's bummed him up. If there was ever a chance he was getting in the team, certainly this afternoon.
Yeah, was it the intensity, playing at the level of intensity that he needs, I think was the issue that Brendan Rodgers said as to why James Forrest hasn't played as much, but maybe did even question himself during the week that maybe he should have played James Forrest more this season.
Yeah.
Can you see him having a sort of telling impact over the next few games, Mark?
Look, time will tell. There's no doubt he's still got a lot to offer. Manager says that, and he certainly came on last week and changed the game in a positive light for Celtic. And it's what's in front of him. With Maeda being injured, Yang's been in and out, Palmer, not so sure. So he's got a perfect opportunity to finish off this season as the number one winger, but he has to go there and perform today. Just seen Rangers getting a free kick.
I can't believe Bolton's actually questioning that, right? He's come right through the back of Dessers. He's up there, he's questioning it. It's a 100% free kick.
Players question everything though, don't they?
But there's sometimes you make yourself look silly. Don't just get on with the game. You've made a bad decision. Is this Tavernier Rangers it too far out, guys?
It's far right enough, but look, we've seen James Tavernier.
He's the
go
best
from all sorts of distances.
He's the best in the country at it. So if it's
I'll tell you what, if he beats the goalkeeper for there, not a chance.
Well, decides to cross it in, and there is a big chance for Rangers, and it's Todd Cantwell who skews it wide. Really should have hit the target.
That's a bad miss for me. It's a good work free kick. Tavernier just floats it up. Is it Balogun that heads it down?
I think you're right.
Cantwell's got to. Do you know something? Put your laces through that for me. Just the top of your foot. Put your top of your foot through that ball. He's tried to side foot it.
Hits his ankle, really, doesn't it?
Tries to be so cute with it and too precise with the finish. Daz is right. You just kind of keep that down anywhere on target. There's too many bodies for Heyman to probably save it. It'll be too close for him to react. Yeah, that's an opportunity for Rangers, and they've not had many, but here they come again.
Yeah, now starting to look a bit more lively. Rangers, Todd Cantwell dancing his way into the box, opens up his body and puts that shot wide.
Well, he definitely fancies being the hero of the hour. He's had 2 chances in the space of seconds there, but Rangers are re-energised, and it's starting with Cantwell. Yes, he should have scored, possibly should have scored with that one as well, the second chance, but he is coming into it a big way now, Cantwell. And I always think that teams like St Mirren, it's at this stage of the game where they start to lose concentration and they make the fatal error that costs them the game when they're playing a Celtic or a Rangers. And St Mirren have moved into that phase of the match now.
I think it's also a bit Rangers just waking up a bit.
Yeah, and just up a bit.
Yeah, the game will open up, but Rangers just have to show that bit more urgency. We've seen the action areas heavily weighted in St Mirren's favour, and you don't expect that, but it's just starting to creep now towards a St Mirren goal.
Yeah, Rangers have a free kick here in a similar-ish position, maybe slightly closer in, slightly more to the left than the last one that James Tavernier decided to cross. Wonder if he'll try and shoot this time or whether it will be another delivery.
Still a bit far out, is it?
Aye, I think you've got to just put
that bit in the danger area
where Balogun is and Suter, yeah, and hope for something similar. Maybe a second ball knocked down, a runner again.
Yeah, it's a cross again this time. It's fallen to Diamandi at the edge of the box. Dessers can't get it under control. St Mirren put it clear.
Do you know, he must see, if you support Rangers go week in week out and you're watching Dessers, he must sometimes frustrate the life out of you. He's flat-footed there. You've got to be on your toes, got to be sharp, react to what's happening. The ball comes in there, but see if you think about it, right? As much as we're thinking, well, they're going to be, Rangers have not tested the goalkeeper well in the second half.
No.
And you're right, he did look shaky. He cost the goal, but Daz is right. Moments in the first half before that, he did look questionable. Rangers have put him under no pressure.
There's another thing. Balogun there just heads the ball out the pitch under no pressure whatsoever.
Yeah.
No communication.
No communication with Tavernier. You're right, Mark. And just heads it out and allows St Mirren to get all the way up the pitch.
St Mirren make the change now.
Yeah, St Mirren making a change of their own, and it's going to be Mikel Mandron that makes way, and Toyosi Olasanya will provide a very different threat to Rangers. We've seen his pace can cause real problems. Mikel Mandron more of an aerial threat, as we saw from his goal earlier on, so a different challenge now for the Rangers defence.
Yeah, without doubt. But 70 minutes, good work from Mandron, take his goal away, which was fantastic, but I think he's gave Suter and Balogun a hard enough time. And now you're right, Andrew, it's a different challenge. They'll have that threat in behind, they'll manage to close down that back line a bit quicker. St Mirren, they've had as much territory, a wee bit more probably, and the Rangers defensive third than Rangers have had going the other way.
There's a long ball by Diamandi that once again Gogic just doing really well to hold off Cyril Dessers to stop him getting anywhere near it and can be cleared by Hemming.
He's dominated Dessers this afternoon. You've got to say, if you're Stephen Robinson, you're delighted with his contribution to this game. He's been excellent so far. Still a bit to go. I'm looking at, when you're a manager and you make substitutions, you're looking for a bit of an impact. I'm looking for young McCausland. He's try and get him on the ball here. There's an opportunity. Now be direct, get at him and take him on, because he's certainly got the ability.
He's into the box and wins Rangers a corner.
Well, that is better, yeah. At least he's positive.
The only thing I'll say about him is he's a typical right footer. When he goes on that left hand side of his, you can tell he's not confident in his cross. He just tries to get the ball in. But it's better play, it's good attacking play.
The ball does come off the elbow of James Bolton, but it's tucked right into his body. I think McCausland was asking the question, but never getting a penalty for that.
Well, I think players ask the question because you can get a penalty for anything now.
Yeah,
absolutely anything.
It will be a corner for Rangers. James Tavernier's delivery is dealt with by St Mirren, and
they can hit
Rangers
now
on the break.
They've got, if he gets his head up, they've got a problem now.
Could do with Olasanya doing something.
Yeah, he's marking Suter.
He is.
I cannot believe his movement. He's just standing next to Suter marking him. Good play. But look, Barisic is not a fan's favourite now because he's leaving and everything. But I think Barisic does very well there. Good defending from him.
He does. McMenamin does well to carry the ball, but Barisic does well to slow him. And you're looking in the middle. Olasanya and Suter's one-on-one.
Standing directly behind. I think it was maybe Lundstrom that was in that position, but he was standing
just
directly behind him.
Yeah. No imagination. How can I get on the ball? How can I create a passing opportunity for my teammate? It's a good break from St Mirren.
Dessers is always looking for something. He's just going down the middle of the park there. He's not been strong enough, and he hits the deck appealing for a foul. He's been dreadful, Hugh. The only thing that'll get him out of jail this afternoon is if he can pop up with a goal. But I agree with Mark in the first half that the service to him wasn't great, but his overall link-up play, his positional play, on his toes, he's been absolutely dreadful this afternoon for me.
I think what's evident with this Rangers side just now, the personnel that's on the pitch, I think every one of them is looking at each other and thinking,
do something,
pull us out of hole, please. Go and do something, instead of somebody just taking the bull by the horns and saying, I'm going to drag this team with me. Everybody's looking at each other going, come on, do something. And it's not working, and at minutes St Mirren's got a corner.
Surprised that Rangers have only made the one change at this point, 73 minutes into the game.
Absolutely. I don't care who it is, you need to do something to tweak this, because the clock is ticking down. There are 74 minutes of regulation time gone. You need, as Gordon Dale pointed out, Zach Hemming hasn't been tested the second half at all.
That'll be a real frustration for Stephen Robinson. That corner just overhit, missed everyone.
Everything about that, overhit, missed everyone. Then Diamandi gets the ball near the opposite corner flag, and St Mirren don't press him. They allow Rangers to come all the way out, and it's an opportunity now.
Big chance. Cyril Dessers gets his goal.
I told you.
Goal flashes with M&D Green Pharmacy.
Well, from one end to the other, it was a cross from the right, and Cyril Dessers had no one on him and had the full goal just to nod it in, and Rangers are back ahead.
Where is the St Mirren goalkeeper?
The goalkeeper and defender clash.
Yeah.
They fall into each other. I said that the only way we get out of jail this afternoon is getting a goal. That's why I said I wouldn't take him off. And he gets the easiest goal he's ever got to get. But what is the defender and the St Mirren goalkeeper doing?
Yeah, Zach Hemming was motioning there as if there was a push, but it doesn't really look like it at all. I think Cyril Dessers stands his ground. The defender just sort of loses his balance, does he? And falls into Zach Hemming. The two of them collide, and Cyril Dessers just has the whole goal to aim at.
I mean, look, give credit to James Tavernier. What a cross it is. But it should be goalie's ball all day long, and the defender takes it. But he misjudged the flight anyway, Hemming. And Dessers doesn't do anything. Dessers just stands, and it's right in his head for the easiest header he will have of his career, and that's a crucial goal
I said
for Rangers.
to you 5 minutes ago, teams like St Mirren, players like these, once you're into that phase of the match where the next goal wins it, they lose concentration. And that's why they are at St Mirren. So that's Rangers have won the match now, and You look at the goalkeeper who has had a dreadful afternoon.
It sums Dessers up for me. He's one of these players that I'd be frightened to take off the pitch. Right? You look at him, you're thinking you're contributing nothing. Then he gets that little half chance there, the easiest chance he'll get in a long time, and he's got to probably be the hero. And look, centre forwards, I think you're judged on goals, right? I know there's other parts of the game to play. You've got to link up and everything. You're judged in goals. So I'm going to give him, if it was me, I'd be delighted with my performance today. Even though it was rubbish, I've scored the goal. Yeah. And I think Dessers will feel the same.
He's a curious case, isn't he? Because at the start of the season, if he signs and you tell Rangers fans this guy is going to score 20 goals for you this season, they'd be delighted at it. Yeah. But the way it's gone about and a lot of his performances maybe do take the shine off of those 20 goals, just the way that he's performed in a lot of games.
Well, it's some missed chances, really. It's allowing them to be judged in a negative light, really, from Rangers supporters. Because you're right, numbers are what matter with strikers. And if you're 20 plus goals, and some of those are crucial goals, so you think he's 2 last week to take you a final, if this proves to be the winner, then that's a huge goal. That's a goal that can be remembered and pointed to as Dessers got the goal that allowed us to put pressure on Celtic. And if he continues in that fashion at the end of the season, nicking a goal here and there in these remaining 4 games after this, then it's a huge success for Rangers.
We will debate Dessers every week from now until the end of the season, as we have debated Dessers every week since he signed. This is what you get. He is inadequate in terms of the great strikers who have played for Rangers. He is a shadow of those players. But as Mark Wilson said, he got the 2 goals that put Rangers in the cup final, and now he's got the goal that's won this match.
He's got a great opportunity here
for Dessers, gets by his man and wins a free kick.
Yeah, he does well there. He's come to life. I've got to say, as a former player, I would rather score a goal, play rubbish, than play brilliant and not score a goal.
Yeah, of course.
Because you are labelled with the fact that you're a centre forward. You're there to score goals and win games. All credit to him. He's been terrible. He's been outfought today. Everything.
That moment there, 78 minutes into the game, is probably the first time he's got the better of Alex Goggins, isn't it?
Exactly. But when it came down to the crunch, when it was really needed, he was in the right spot. As you say, Mark, I think you've got to give Tavernier a bit of credit. It's a great pick out with Tavernier, great ball in, and it's the simplest of headers. But I tell you what, know who I'd be subbing if it's St Mirren? I'd be subbing that goalkeeper. I'd play with a backy. MD can save.
Rangers did make 2 changes there, didn't they? Tom Lawrence and it was
Scott
Wright that came on. Barisic came off, so Sterling moves to left back, doesn't he? Was it Todd Cantwell?
Yes, Cantwell come off.
Was it Cantwell?
Yeah.
I thought it was Lundstrom that came
off.
No,
it was
getting a drink,
floating over in that area, but I think it was Todd Cantwell.
Not to detract from Dessers, he has scored the winning goal, but
you think that's the winner, Hugh?
Oh yeah.
I still think there's a bit to go in this game.
The other thing about teams like St Mirren and players who are well beneath the standard of the Rangers players, once they're 2-1 like that, then there's no coming back. As I say, not to detract from Dessers, but the defending to allow him to score is pub team defending.
You wonder what happened to the defender. I know Dessers was a little nudge.
He just looked as if he went off balance, didn't he? Because he kind of went down in instalments at that point. I don't know whether he felt a bit of pressure on his back and then he's gone off balance and then falls into.
Certainly not enough for a foul.
But I think Mark makes a great point. Even without that, the goalkeeper's position, he ain't getting there. His positioning's poor, his timing's poor.
It was just the way that went down. It seemed like it was more sort of off balance than him actually trying to look for something.
I think so. I don't think he's even looking for a foul. But the goalkeeper just alleviates all pressure if he's in the right position, and he just takes that ball right in the centre of his 6-yard box. But he's caught under it. It's been a really poor afternoon for Zach Keevins.
Yeah, Stephen Robinson will be frustrated because when you play against one of the bigger sides, you need luck to go your way. You need to not make mistakes, and both Rangers goals have come from mistakes.
Yeah, but you can flip it and say St Mirren goal Rangers would be very disappointed with. Look, if Rangers get out of here with the 3 points, all day long. It was always going to be a difficult game. Have they been at their best? No, they've not. But St Mirren take a lot of credit for that. But look, they've come up with the 3 points, and that's all he'll be bothered about. Will he be happy with the performance? Absolutely not.
Rangers looking to try and get that third to put the game beyond all doubt. The thing is, there is still only one goal in it, even though Rangers look a bit more settled, a bit more assured in themselves. They started to look a bit like that in the first half before St Mirren got their equaliser. Tom Lawrence just shifting it onto his left, firing over the bar.
I think they realise if you hit anything exact Kemi, you've got a chance it might go in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. It's been that poor an afternoon for the St Mirren goalkeeper, but Rangers do look a bit better now, a bit more confident, and of course the goal just takes that pressure off your shoulders a bit, you know, especially see when you're shooting that way down towards the Rangers fans. You know it's 1-1, you have a look at the clock as well, everything does get a bit desperate. So sigh of relief from those Rangers players on the pitch must have been huge, and you can see it in the way they're playing.
I'll be honest with you, I would sit nice and compact and just take 2-1, and if I can hit them on the break, I'd do that.
Yeah.
I think you get out of here today 3 points, you're going to be happy, because you've not been at your best, but you've won the game, and that's the most important thing right now in these fixtures.
We've had a tweet from Mikel saying that he got chucked out an exam for changing the channel with his Casio watch. So explain this to me. This is before my time. No.
Oh, Andrew. Anyway, Casio did a digital watch. Had the calculator, you know, had the time on it, of course, but it had a channel changer, so you could change a channel. It was a universal remote, so when the teacher used to wheel the TV in, and you'd be sitting there as a class watching
I love how
a programme.
there's amusement from Hugh Keevins at technology that's about 25 years old that you're still baffled at.
I know.
I don't know that either, Hugh.
No. Come on.
No,
brilliant.
He lost
people
me,
out there.
he lost
chance of Butland's position.
Butland is out quickly and wins the ball before Olasanya.
He's wiped him out as well. That's not a free kick.
No,
I think he's just stopped the game.
To Rangers. Sorry.
Free kick to Rangers.
It's a yellow card. Who to? Butland.
Looks like it's for
Jack Butland.
Well, how's that? No, that can't be right. Butland's in a great position.
I think Butland follows through here, Mark.
Does he?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's why he's given it. I could be wrong, because I'm waiting for a channel to change it any moment. But I'm just going. We're going to see a rerun out here.
Yeah, long ball.
Butland certainly wins the ball.
Seems like a strange thing to get booked for, doesn't it? Unless there is that follow through. But Jack Butland gets there well before Toyosi Olasanya. Sort of jumps in the air, makes the connection with the ball, volleys it clear, and
I don't know. Someone will need to clear that one up for me.
Into Toyosi Olasanya. Jack Butland gets booked, and it will be a free kick just outside the box to St Mirren.
Can you understand that here?
No, there's absolutely no malice there whatsoever.
You can't see what his right hand side's doing. That's the problem. I think because he must have done something.
He must then think the foul comes after he's made contact with the ball, because if he thinks he's fouled him to get the ball, then surely that it would have to be a red card. Jack Butland.
So we've got to see Daz is right. We've got to see it from the other side.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Because
so Olasanya running through, Jack Butland takes the ball. It just seems like a sort of.
It's the way the right knee comes through. I think it's a problem for Nick Wilson.
But the bottom line is that St Mirren have a free kick in a very dangerous position.
Yeah,
and we're 86.5 minutes into the game here. If they wanted a chance, they couldn't have asked for a better one than this.
It's a bit of a mixed bag, that, because you look and you think, well, the goalkeepers went through, won the ball, his momentum's taking them through.
I don't think that's a free kick.
It's a strange one.
Or a booting for Butland. No. I just can't see it.
I think it's his right knee that catches the St Mirren player, and
there's no doubt there's contact, but it just seemed as if it was the sort of natural contact that was.
Yeah, well, Butland gets there first,
Jack
clears
Butland winning
it.
The
there's
ball.
Contact. Not for me, that one. But Hugh's right. It's a chance. 3 minutes left of 90. Gogic standing right in front of Butland here.
Which Gogic trying to attempt here? Oh, good run.
Trying to unsight the goalkeeper, maybe. It's Lewis Jamieson's free kick that goes straight into the Rangers wall and is eventually cleared.
Yeah, just a waste. Even when the ball did rebound to Jamieson, he should have just played Gogic down the side. I don't know why he's trying to chip it over the 4-man wall again.
Rangers get a free kick, which I think they'll be happy with, just in their own half. That'll break up.
Yeah,
slightly.
just take the sting out the game. As I said, I wouldn't be too concerned about trying to throw men up the pitch and go for a 3-1 win. I think if you get out of here today 2-1, it's been a terrific result. It's been a hard fought battle, and credit to Dessers. He kept going, he's got his reward. So if I'm Philippe Clement, get out of there 3 points and send to Celtic, right, we've done our bit, it's up to you at Dens Park.
Yep, totally agree with that. And you've got the prediction up as it stands,
Yeah,
haven't you? 2-1.
2-1, thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go too early.
I knew that's what you were aiming at.
Where's the goalkeeper again? He had a nightmare.
He's there, Hugh, he's there.
He got there as fast as he could.
No, pick on the goalkeeper this afternoon.
For those with an interest in English football, it is 1-0 to Arsenal in the North London derby. An own goal by Højbjerg puts them ahead, a game they need to win in that title race. There was another big game in Scotland earlier on as well, the second of the Women's Scottish Cup semi-finals. Rangers beating Celtic 2-0 yesterday, and they'll play Hearts in the final, who have beaten Spartans at Hampden.
Oh, better hope the Hearts men turn up then.
St Mirren try to go for the late equaliser. It's up to them now to throw some bodies forward.
Yeah.
There's nothing to lose.
No.
You may as well just go for it.
As you say, if you lose 3-1, so what? But if you have a chance of getting 2-2, we'll see how much time is added on for the various folk who are rolling about the ground. But Philippe Clement will not care about the quality of the performance, substandard quality of the performance. If he gets 2-1, job done.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. You don't really care performances. As long as you get this 3 points and keep the title race on, then that's the most important thing.
We can stand here all day and describe how poor Rangers have been all along the back four. Dessers, although he got the winning goal,
referee checking for something.
He's checking for a penalty kick, you know?
No, it's not a penalty.
I know it's not a penalty. I think McCausland wins the ball fairly here. I think that's a fair tackle.
Yeah,
nothing to say anything in that.
He just sort of pokes the ball away from under the feet.
Is it something else he's checking for?
Would have been offside anyway.
Yeah,
I think in there. So it is play on. The ball comes into the Rangers box. It's headed away by John Suter.
Well there, Dessers.
And a big chance because Rangers on the breakaway. It's Tom Lawrence. Rangers are 2-on-1 into the box. Tom Lawrence cuts in. And what a block on the line. And no surprise that it's Alex Gogic
That's
who
a
makes
sensational clearance from Gogic. It's a great break. Dessers does brilliant to play Lawrence in, and he's still got the full half to run into. But Lawrence does great to check in. He's finding that bottom corner, but look at Gogic. Knows where the danger is and comes off his heel to go wide.
I mean, Rangers really don't do a lot wrong in that breakaway, do they?
Yeah, I'm going to be critical of Lawrence here. I think you must go the other side and just tap that in the net.
He just has no idea Alex Gogic is there, because the speed that he's going back at, in the 91st minute of the game to try and stop that going 3-1.
Man of the match,
100%. I'll give him his award tomorrow at 3 o'clock. I will go up and pat him in the back and say, well done, played well today.
That's got to be the worst corner kick ever taken.
Oh, did he mean that though? Was he not trying to play that out to John Lundstrom
as well?
Yeah. I'm not sure. Has he meant that? Because that looked awkward. The way he kicked that
the way he kicked it did look awkward. It went straight to John Lundstrom at the edge of the St Mirren box, but it didn't look natural the way he connected with the ball.
It looked painful.
The point I'm going to make to you is we prepare to go to Dens Park for the Dundee Celtic game. You cannot, if you're a Celtic fan, go on about how bad Rangers are, how mediocre, how this, how that, how the other, and then fail to win the title at Rangers' expense. Because what does that say about you? So Rangers have got the job done. It's not pretty. It's not good for Philippe Clement, but Celtic now have to get the job done by hook or by crook.
It's not done because Toyosi Olasanya making his way into the box, and it's a huge challenge by Leon Balogun, and Rangers prevent it from being a corner as well. It looked a real dangerous opportunity for the hosts.
Olasanya did brilliant.
Takes one touch too many for me. I think he gives Balogun the opportunity to go and make that tackle. I think he just, if you watch him here, it's great play. I tell you what, it's a terrific tackle from Balogun. He has got to get that bang on the money or he's in trouble. That is a fantastic tackle.
Yeah, really is. Top defending. But Olusanya, if you're looking at it from an attacking point of view, I think he's looking for an option there, just along the 6-yard line. I don't think St Mirren players are steaming in to get on the end of that if he did square it, and that just allows Balogun to get back in. But it's a terrific tackle from the Rangers centre back.
I think the look on Stephen Robinson's face a few moments ago just probably sums up how all St Mirren fans will be feeling, that they know they had a real chance today to get something from this game. It's not over, there's still 3 minutes of injury time to go, but just the manner of the way that they're now behind will be of huge frustration.
Yeah, as I say, they defend like a pub team, and that was the case when Dessers was all alone in splendid isolation to head the ball in to make it 2-1. They are okay up to a point, St Mirren, but as I say, they now have fewer points than Hibs, who are in the bottom 6.
I think St Mirren have done well today, actually. I really do. I think they've been brave. I think they've played well. Stephen Robinson will be disappointed at maybe the lack of clear-cut chances in this second half from them, but in possession, even out of possession, I think they've made it difficult for Rangers. You look at the 2 goals they've conceded, it's goalkeeping errors. You've got to say it's basically that. I think he can be pleased with himself. It will come down to their head-to-head with Dundee next week for that European place.
But real signs of fight and desire from them and what they're trying to chase in these final weeks of the season.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great all season. They've been in the mix all season in that top 4, top 5. It'd be a harsh one for them to drop out and miss out, having led that race for all the season. But you can see why they're there. You know, they've made it really difficult for Rangers this afternoon, albeit Rangers have not been great at all. But St Mirren have played their part in that.
Can't argue with that, Mark. I think a lot of congratulations does go, but you get nothing out of the game if you lose it. But they've been well organised, they've worked hard. Gogic has been absolutely sensational for them, and they've made Rangers really sweat for their 3 points if they can go over the line. But for Rangers, not a great performance, but it doesn't matter. It's all about the 3 points getting out of there.
Exactly. And the reaction in the dressing room, if it stays this way, from the Rangers players will tell you that. If you had a mic outside, you'll hear the cheers and celebration. But if this was earlier on the season, you know, the players would be having a go at each other, no doubt about it. They would recognise it's not good enough performance wise, but at this stage, all about the win.
Chance for St Mirren here, shot wide of the mark by Lewis Jameson on his favoured left foot as well. I don't think it took a deflection either, just went wide of Jack Butland's goal. An opportunity to test the Rangers goalkeeper. They did have a lot of bodies in front of him. It did take a nick. Yeah, it is a corner to St Mirren.
It's a two-hander ball up in the air. This can go anyway.
Yeah. Here it comes.
I bet the St Mirren guys in the boat's going, where's this going?
Is he taking a throw in instead of a corner? Because he's
look at Gogic, he's really up for his game today.
He was screaming at someone to get in the box there. Big chance, and it's booted away by James Tavernier. There is about 10 seconds of the minimum of 6 minutes to go, and Jack Butland collects high in the air. I did wonder whether Alex Gogic was screaming at Zach Hemming to get up the park, but I think based on his form today, would maybe be nowhere near it.
That's a good opportunity.
Yeah. He actually was halfway up the park,
Game
and that
over.
is full time at St Mirren. Let's get the story from Paisley with Gabriel.
St Mirren 1, Rangers 2, a huge win for Rangers. Far from a vintage performance, but Cyril Dessa's late goal has delivered a much needed 3 points and piles the pressure back on Celtic ahead of their trip to Dundee. Now Rangers were sloppy at the back early on. St Mirren's high pressing working really well, but the Saints failed to capitalise on Rangers' mistakes before the visitors eventually got the ball down the middle of the park, started to control the match more, and started to create chances. The pressure told in the 32nd minute. Keeper Zach Hemming caught under the ball. He flapped at it from a corner and just kept it in for no reason. There was Mohamed Diamande at the back post pulling the ball back across, and James Bolton couldn't do anything but turn it into his own net. However, the lead didn't last for long. Mark O'Hara, the Saints captain, looped the ball in, and Mikel Mandron simply outmuscled Leon Balogun, was on the wrong side of him, headed the ball down, in off the post, the only way he could score. What a goal. 1-1. There was a huge Jack Butland save just before the interval as well, keeping his side in the game. Butland showing exactly why he is the top goalkeeper in the division. St Mirren has started the Brighton 2 in the second 45 as well. Got to say, at the back, Alex Godgic was outstanding all day. Saints just couldn't really create any clear-cut opportunities. Rangers really searching for a winner. Todd Cantwell had 2 decent chances within 60 seconds, but just couldn't find the back of the net. And the Gers were starting to look desperate in that search. However, it was simply handed to them on a plate by the St Mirren defence. James Tavernier with a good ball into the box from the right. He found an totally unmarked Cyril Dessers. A free header from inside 10 yards after St Mirren defender and keeper have just kind of clattered into each other and taken each other out. Dessers couldn't miss. It was an absolute gift, and despite a poor afternoon from the striker, it's his 20th goal of the season, and he has won the game for Rangers. He's over in front of the away fans now, lapping it up, trying to rouse the fans. They know this title race is still alive. It was a below par performance, but it simply won't matter. They are level on points for now with Celtic. They ensure that the league leaders cannot extend their lead to more than 3 points, and they'll be praying that Dundee can deliver something at Dens Park. This title race is still well and truly on. Full time at the SMiSA Stadium. St Mirren 1, Rangers 2.
Well, part 1 of this Sunday doubleheader is complete. Rangers 2-1 winners over St Mirren, and now attention's turn to Dens Park. Dundee against Celtic. We'll go back to Dens Park next.
Scottish football's league leader. This is Clyde One Super Scoreboard. Clyde One Super Scoreboard podcast with Lookers Audi. Hop by the Glasgow, Hamilton, Ayr, Stirling or Edinburgh Lookers Audi between the 25th and 29th of April to take advantage of enhanced offers on the fully electric range.